Is this something that you had been going through for years, or had you just found out?
The day I found out, it changed everything, and I knew my life would take a different course.
I mean, we could edit any of this out, but is this something that you want to be talking about? I mean, this has got to be so hard.
It is hard for me to discuss it, but I feel like sometimes you have to put yourself out for other people to benefit from it, even though it's hard. It really is hard, Rick.
I think I'm going to switch it up a little bit here. Let's add some of these. That's nice.
I like that a lot.
Let me focus you.
What do I do with this?
On the tray. The tray and the brown is your friend.
That just sits there all show?
Yeah.
I like that black family you got.
Thank you.
Really nice.
Look to camera. Keep looking to camera. Almost have it. Try not to move. Just keep looking. Almost ready. Almost there. Hold on, it just takes a minute to focus because of the exposure setting I have.
I don't think that's true. Am I allowed to look away now?
Just give it like a few more seconds.
Yep.
Almost there. Welcome to another episode of Take Your Shoes Off. Today's guest is Ben Gleib. Please keep looking. Scoot Doo. A little physical comedy.
Scoot doo, blabbity blue, scoop dee. Oh yeah!
I had a bit that I wanted to do with Ben Schwartz because we look alike.
Yeah.
Where he's here. I have a guess.
Yeah.
Just see, and that one.
No, it didn't cross still.
It did.
No, it didn't.
It
floated. It floated. It didn't touch the other couch.
cut to a clip. So Ben Schwartz is here hanging out. Nobody knows. Nobody's the wiser. A guest that I never met comes over. Hey, nice to meet you. Thank you. Have a seat. Can I get you a water?
Yeah.
Room temp?
Yeah.
I do that. It's fucking hot. Let me put the AC on. I go upstairs. 20 seconds later, Ben, wearing my clothes, comes down, sits, fixes some stuff, has the conversation with you for a minute, leaves again. I come down.
Do you really think you look that much like him? Because I don't know that you do.
I don't think that I look. I'm sure I could find a better lookalike, but the comedic chops would make it funny.
Star doing it, and the comedic chops.
Well, I just think that if it doesn't work, it's fine. It's still funny. All right, we tried it, and if it works,
I've been wanting to do the same thing for my podcast, but Brad Pitt's unavailable. You understand the joke? A lot of people say I look exactly like Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
You understand that?
Yeah, I think it's really funny.
Thank you.
You know why it's funny?
Based on truth.
Because it's based in truth.
Yep.
And everybody knows who he is, so it tracks.
That's exactly right.
Ben Gleib. Ben?
Yeah, that's correct.
Ben, thank you for coming over.
Rick Moranis.
Funny stuff.
Thanks for having me. Can I pull this closer so that I can grab it?
Yeah, in fact, you could even put it on the brown.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind
Some people
that.
like to do that.
I wouldn't mind that at all. We're okay.
Ben, I'll tell you something. I've had a lot of funny people on the couch. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. When you want to be a better problem solver, therapy can help get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/TYSO today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/TYSO. Ben, relax. We're coming back now. Hey there, Florida, or people near Florida, or people far away from Florida but have been wanting to go to Florida to watch some comedy. I'm Rick Glassman from the Take Your Shoes Off podcast, and I'm going to be in St. Petersburg, near Tampa, Florida, October 21 and October 22. I'm doing my first ever live podcast. Each night, there's going to be 2 shows. We're doing a live podcast, then a stand-up show. I have comedian, actor, and Mr. Potato Head, Eric Griffin, joining me for the weekend. The link will be in bio. It's at Coastal Creative. I'm excited to do this. I'm also like, just full disclosure, we've never done a live podcast, so I'm going to want to figure some stuff out. So maybe you'll come up on the stage with us. Maybe if you come up on the stage and say some stuff that is usable, we'll make it in the podcast. If you say some stuff that is not usable, we might ask you to leave the show. Like there is a chance that you'll get on the podcast, but there's also a chance you're going to get kicked out. So, come prepared to leave. Information and access to tickets are in the description. You could buy a ticket to the stand-up show. You could buy a ticket to the podcast, or you could buy a super ticket, save a little money. Come to both. That's my plug, and I'm sticking to it. My name's Rick Glassman, and scoot doo, bubbity blue. Why would we swipe instead of snap? I wanted to snap. Stop. Let me snap.
Whether they're both brown. I don't know why you refer to this as the brown. This is even more brown. Yeah. Well, you said, like you agree.
If you need to put something on there, you can. But not
this is the brown and this is the brown.
The tray, the blanket, and the ottoman
are all referred to as the brown.
Walk into a living room.
They're all
start a podcast, and boy, are their arms tired.
Yeah.
I'm Rick Glassman, and welcome. I think we already did the theme song, but we could put
Have
it.
We already done
too.
it. Do it again.
Scoot doo.
And we cut it short. That way, people get the joke.
Yeah.
But
without wasting their time. People's precious time.
Yep. Mustache on, mustache off, mustache on. Do it again. Mustache off. I've learned as I've gotten older that it's not just would the bit work or would it not work. Mm-hmm. It's how much is the bit worth it.
Right.
And if it's not worth the full commitment, but it still is a good laugh, how do you do it without having to commit when the bit itself is something that works due to commitment? First base. And what I find is you could pitch it. You don't have to do it. And it's not performance based, but then you get it.
People get it on a very different level if you just pitch the bit. I think you do a short version of the bit is better.
It depends. If it's something with sound cues
right.
like that, you can. But if it's like
symbols,
if it's the thing where I go upstairs and then I come down and it's somebody else,
can't just pitch that.
I did.
I didn't like it as a pitch
because you don't get it.
I had all these follow-up questions
because you don't get it.
I do get it.
You don't get it.
I picture perfectly how funny it would be if I were to see it.
Oh, then you got it.
Yeah,
but it was worth a pitch.
I didn't enjoy hearing it,
and that's the difference.
Exactly.
Because you need to be gifted instead of just being grateful, and that's the difference, I think.
Yeah, I am gifted from day one.
Ben, you're one of my oldest friends in Hollywood.
It's true.
How old are you now?
Old.
Yeah.
Very old.
We met recently.
We just met.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. This town is not for the long haul.
Oh.
You know?
Just keep it in Hebrew.
You and I have been friends for a long time. Vayomer lo Eliyahu Elisha. Right? Mm-hmm. I could have done the whole Torah portion, but just the sample was enough.
A pitch. A perfect pitch.
It would have been better if I said, I should now just do my Torah portion.
No. I'm saying if it's music and sound and it involves the bit. If it's an energy thing.
But if it's visual, the Ben Schwartz coming down dressed like you, that's visual.
But the amount of time it would take to actually show you that versus explain it. And if the only option is to show it or to not even bring it up, then you're wasting it.
No, arranging it behind the scenes would take longer, but you could show it faster than you could say it. I mean, you literally could just cut to 3 seconds of Ben Schwartz as you and people wonder, was that?
I don't think you understand how this works. You're not a director.
I am a director.
Oh, yeah?
I directed Shit Hitchhikers Say. It's a critically acclaimed short
right.
film.
Ben and I, sometimes I find it feels disingenuous to get exposition out to the guest who already knows. So yeah, we did the blah, blah, blah. So what I do is I look to camera. For the audio only, I'm looking to camera and go, Ben and I, a decade ago, made a sketch. And Ben insisted on calling it a short film, and I always thought that was funny.
Yeah. Well, it was shot very artistically.
So is this pod.
Exactly right.
I would call this a long film.
Yeah. You should call it a long film.
If you guys are still listening, I appreciate it, and we're gonna get into it. But we're a playful group, the two of us.
Yeah, we are. Is that too much?
No.
Okay.
Gulp, 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 gulp.
Much better here.
Yeah, that does make sense. I used to have a table in the front.
Like one of those hangover tables?
No, it would just be like
that's not bad.
Yeah. It did have Bradley Cooper's face on it though.
I could see why that'd be a problem for legal reasons.
Mm-hmm. I like Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like him to.
So you're a stand-up comic turned father.
No.
The other way around?
No.
I know I've seen you somewhere before.
Yeah.
You do game shows, then you got into being a dad.
No. Mm-mm.
What was it? You're a dad.
No. That's the one part that's not resonating with me. Maybe if you showed it to me, it would resonate because the pitch on that. I don't agree. I don't agree. I know you think I'm a dad.
I think the world. I think you have a good casting to play a dad.
Yeah, I've been cast to play a husband. I don't think of dad yet.
Were you a good husband?
No, she was very angry at me the whole episode.
What was it?
That was a Genji Cohen show called American Princess, and I played the husband that during the intervention was just kept eating, kept focused on food. It was very true to life for me, but it wasn't very like. I mean, it was funny. I was funny on a show that, but I wasn't the most. She was yelling at me a lot.
It's a tale as old as time.
Yeah, beauty, and so you're calling. Mm-hmm.
Song as old as rhyme.
Yeah.
Do you have a good singing voice? I don't remember.
Pretty good.
Can I hear?
What do you want me to sing?
Beauty and the Beast.
Song as old as time.
So you don't peek? Could you put it away a little bit?
Yep. Song as old as time. Song as old as wine. Beauty and the Beast.
What's the best song you could
Do you want
sing?
to hear me sing well?
Yeah.
Best song I can sing, like in my range. I have all over their range. It's hard for me to know that
Oh, that's
answer.
great. It's like an ambidextrous singer.
Yeah, I can do. I don't have the greatest voice, but I can do a lot. I can do a low. I can do a high. I can do oh yeah, and I can do a oh yeah. I can do it. I can do it all, singing wise.
Is there anything you can't do?
No, I can play the kazoo like nobody's business.
Do you think that ever gets in your way as a performer?
It does, actually.
You believing that you could do everything?
It's not even just believing. The fact that I'm good at a lot of stuff holds me back big time in my career. Yeah.
Tell me in no particular order some of the things that you're really good at.
My God. Stand-up comedy, writing, hosting, commentary.
Give me an example of commentary.
Rick sipping that drink with the skill of a man just manicured and distracted by his own nails, not noticing the grace with which he sipped and put that drink right back where it came.
Okay, so there's stand-up comedy,
Yep.
there's writing, there's hosting,
Acting.
there's commentary,
Acting.
there's acting.
Producing. I produce like nobody's business.
Yeah, well,
Hidden.
then don't even tell me.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hidden camera. Very good at that. Man on the street. I'm an excellent dancer. I like to dance.
No, but you're not a really great
No, I'm not
dancer.
really
Oh,
good
yeah,
at
be
dancer.
serious.
Rap. I'm great at rap. I'm really, really good at
I
rap.
don't know that. I know you like to do it though. Now,
It's hurtful.
what about in your interpersonal life?
I don't have a lot of skills in that area. It's just on camera stuff I'm good at. I don't know. I'm a good friend. I'm a good listener with my friends. I am a great dad. My kids love me a lot, so that helps.
How are you in a relationship? Are you in a relationship?
Are you asking me to out?
No, I'm being serious. Do you have a boyfriend or girlfriend?
I have a fiance.
Oh, I knew that.
Yeah, I don't know.
We
if
used
you
to
do.
date. You and I. First base.
Cut to a clip. Ow! Ow!
And we're back.
Why would I was instantly getting pegged in that scenario?
Was that funny what we just did?
Yeah,
Well, we didn't really do it.
we did do it.
We didn't. Really doing it would be. If you're looking for just the right flooring, you need choices. And at Marshall Carpet One, you'll certainly find them. But it still plays.
No, you had to rub the old footage in my face, huh? I get it. But we did. But you know what I mean? We didn't say it would be funny if we pretended and made sex noises. We made sex noises.
I'm not going to argue with you because when I know I'm right, I don't want to
We
waste
know
our
you're
time.
wrong. We know you're wrong.
Okay.
Okay.
It worked because we didn't fully commit to it. I don't mean only a pitch. I'm saying you don't have to fully commit to something.
No, you.
And by what we just did, not fully committing, is what I call a pitch.
Oh, that's
A
fair.
pitch doesn't mean
Got
a
it.
script. A pitch
Got
is
it.
just like a way to explain it to somebody.
It's a soft experiential experience.
It's not the full thing, but enough
Right.
to paint the
It's
picture.
a little sampler, a little teaser.
And
of
if
the
there's
idea.
music and stuff, it's easy to add the music. But if there's
course.
big props and time involved,
course.
it's like just, say the things.
Yeah, I get that.
Now we're on the same page.
I get that. Can I ask you a question?
What do you guys think? I'm actually surprised at how much they're into this.
People are into
Ben,
it.
ask your question. Hold on one sec. We're going to have music underneath.
Great.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. And then that's where Ben asks your question after the... So Ben, ask your will be the ba-da-ba, that part. And then ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba, question. And then... And now, lights off. Spotlight.
I just wanted to have that in my back pocket for later.
All right. Lights back on. Just know we have it.
Yep.
So you're...
It'll happen when you least expect it.
Doubt that.
Gulp, gulp, gulp.
I'm on the back of my seat.
For real though, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
I'm gonna keep that in my back pocket for later.
Ask the question because now we have to have real stuff.
No, I'm gonna keep that in my back pocket for later.
It gets people. Great. People need to hear real stuff amongst all the bits, though. Otherwise, they check out.
No, I get that.
So, what is one of your favorite
Do you edit out some moments, like when you tell me that people need to hear real stuff too? Will that come out?
No, that stays. For the same reason why I wanted people to see the straw wrapper on the tray.
Well, you threw it away.
Yeah.
You went against your instincts.
I didn't.
That just sits there all show?
Yeah.
You don't mind that little beef piece
I'll tell you why I don't.
butter?
Because my audience, I don't want them to be watching us. I want them to be in the living room with us.
Oh.
I followed my instincts.
Oh, to leave it and then take it away?
Yeah.
That's two different opposite instincts.
Well, the instinct to leave it was for why I explained, and the instinct to take it away was for the joke.
Got it. For this moment now. Foreshadowing, really.
Yeah.
I get that. How much time do you put into your hair? That was not my question.
You already asked.
No, that's not my question.
Could you rephrase? I don't understand.
How much time do you put into preparing your hair the way it looks?
Not much.
Like 0 time?
No, more than that.
2 seconds?
No, I take a shower.
Yeah.
And then I put product in my hair.
Mm-hmm.
And then usually I'll just put a hat on for an hour.
Oh, interesting.
I like the way it dries with a hat on.
With product in it?
With the product in it. Yeah. And then when I take the hat off, it's still a little wet and I leave it. And I don't love the way it looks there until it dries. And then I go, and then whatever it is, it is.
But your hair's still wet for an hour with a hat on?
With a hat on,
Because
yeah.
the hat keeps moisture in?
Yeah.
I hope that's true.
Yeah. It helps keep
My hair
the
dries
curls,
really quickly, though.
but you don't have a hat on.
Yeah, that's a good
Does
point.
your hair get really frizzy?
If it gets really frizzy, then it does, yeah.
That's why with the hat, it helps not get as frizzy. It keeps the curls together.
And mine's not as curly as yours. Mine only gets curly when it's like, I get more wavy than curly.
Right.
Thank God.
But also, my hair's a bit longer than yours. I've been doing it longer.
That's a good point. But
Growing my
is
hair
it
out.
really longer?
Yeah.
Okay. Mine's just kind of kempt into a spot right now, but I can make mine bigger than yours if I really wanted to. Because right now mine's just I kind of pulled it into a shape that is less wild than yours, but I feel like mine's probably longer than yours. Can I see the back of your head? You look at the back of mine. Whose is longer?
It's hard to tell.
That's my whole point.
Do you, when you asked, what was the observation? Was it that it was messy, that you liked it, that you didn't like it? What made you was it, it looked like Rick put a lot of time in, or it looked like Rick didn't put a lot of time in?
No, it looked like you didn't put a lot of time in, hardly any at all, probably 0, but I thought it looked also good.
So
pretty good.
Are you burning me, or are you?
No, I think it looks good. I just think it's nice to be able to have to put no effort whatsoever into your appearance and look good. It's nice. It's really great.
I would put more effort into it if I knew what effort to put in. I don't know what to do.
Or what it would even do for you. Like if it already looks good, what does it matter?
I think it could look better. I don't know.
Probably.
And sometimes I'm like, ooh, it looks good today. And then sometimes it doesn't. And I did the same thing. I don't know how to keep it consistent. So it's just kind of, I've accepted.
Yeah.
It is what it is,
I get that.
But yeah, I would put in more work if I knew what to do to make my hair look good.
You would?
Yeah.
Maybe we can poll the audience.
Pull them into what?
So I don't know. Whatever they are into, whatever adventure they want to get into.
I think it's all different. I feel like a curly person's hair is like a woman's body, where it's like there are some consistencies throughout, but you got to ask what makes me come.
I get that. Is that why you shower while doing your hair?
The past 2 episodes, I by design did not shower before the guests came over.
Why is that?
Because my hair is always wet, and people always comment, "Why is Rick's hair always wet?"
Have you
Well,
considered?
that's not the reason. My hair is always wet, and I'm not the only one who noticed. Guests also always like, Rick's hair is always wet.
Have you thought about showering?
Earlier on,
No, showering and not wetting your hair, or shampooing it, or during the shower.
I usually don't shampoo
Why do you have to get it wet then? Why don't you just shower and not get your hair wet?
because I don't know. It's just like
You don't even know how to do that, or what?
I could probably do it.
Because you don't need to be
But I like to. I like to start
just
it
grab
over.
it under your whole armpit. So I'm glad you showered today.
Yeah.
For your sake, really. You're closer to yourself than I am.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Mm-hmm.
So will you try showering without getting your hair wet? And
No, I like to get my hair wet.
I'm saying if a particular day you're intentionally skipping the shower,
Then why even shower?
because for cleaning the rest of the body.
My body's clean. It's clean enough to podcast.
Oh, that's true.
If I ever do something that gets me dirty,
So it's only if you're near people you care about being near and them smelling you. Not if it's a podcast.
oh yeah,
guest.
but I'm not gonna.
Not if it's a lowly
I'm not
podcast
smelly.
guest.
If I
Only
do,
after one day, I can be smelly. I get that.
yeah, if there's something that makes me smelly, if I go out and I'm sweating, or if I work out,
You're
or
assembling a table.
yes,
Yeah.
or disassembling, probably more so disassembling,
Have you ever disassembled a table?
Yeah.
Why?
because you had to get it through a door,
Oh. I just keep trying till it works.
right? I get that.
refuse to take it apart. I really do. I'll try every angle. I'll get extra friends to help move it around, but like eventually it gets through.
Yeah, but you might bang the door, you might get a little dent,
Yeah. That's true.
and sometimes you have to. Like if it was assembled in the room, I have a couple of pretty big tables, if you know what I mean, and they were
I
assembled.
get it.
They were assembled. Let's just say they were put together in the room.
Whoa. Couldn't get it through that door otherwise, huh?
Well, you could have tried, but I didn't want to.
Okay. Rub-a-dub-dub.
Yeah,
Yep.
and if the table's really heavy, I might not be able to walk straight in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to bring it up the steps and my legs were tired.
Yeah. You just got fucked by your table in that scenario.
When you get married?
Sometime next year. We don't know exactly. She was kind of she was putting light but moderate pressure on me to get the engagement. And then as soon as we got engaged, I was like, all right, let's do this when we get married. She's like, what's the rush? So I'm like, all right, if you don't want to rush it, I'm not going to rush it.
Did you not want to get engaged?
I did, but it's a scary decision for a man. Or for anybody, but it seems like more for a man, typically. It was a scary decision, being comedians. It's not the life we're used to.
Because you want other options, or because committing in general is a difficult thing?
I feel like just both. I mean, just both kind of. I mean, we've comedians are sometimes lucky. We get fun. People being fun with us.
What do you mean?
With their bodies.
What do you mean?
Sometimes on the road or in hometown.
You're saying that there's more opportunity than what you would have if you weren't a comedian.
Correct.
To have sex or kiss
Or kiss.
other people.
I was a kissing slut for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't have sex with a lot of people, but I would do this. The middle stuff.
What's the middle stuff?
Kissing.
Well, kissing and sex, and then there's the middle stuff. Because kissing isn't middle.
That's true. Well, it's not step one.
No.
You got hugging,
And kissing.
hold tight.
Mm-hmm.
That's steps 1 and 2.
When you meet a girl at a show, when you're single, when you're doing your thing,
When I was, yeah.
and you would meet a girl at a show, would you approach her, or would you only usually wait until if she approached you?
I would do either, but much better they would approach me, and that would more often happen.
Right.
It's easy when you have
It's
a show.
hard to approach somebody, isn't it?
It is very hard to approach somebody.
Did
No
you
matter
ever-
how confident you are, sometimes a gorgeous woman walks by, and you're like, yeah, I used to do that, and I would get murdered.
Question.
Yep.
Did you ever think about how hard it is to approach a woman, to how difficult it is for a woman to approach her man? And when a woman came up to you, would you ever be like, good for you? That was hard. That must have been hard.
No, I would be blinded by how excited I was.
Right.
And I would just be focused on closing the deal, that I wouldn't be like trying to give her positive feedback about her approach.
Would you get nervous when a girl approaches you?
No.
Never.
I don't really get nervous in that way, no. I would only get nervous about the approach, which sometimes I would let it go because I couldn't say something, or I wouldn't.
Now, would this still be at a
first
show?
line in would be, what?
Would this still be at a show? So she saw you?
Even at a show. I mean, much better after a show, for sure. Much better, much easier. But still, sometimes a very attractive woman, it's very hard. And that intro, even the first line, even if you think they saw you, or if you know they did, I think if they for sure saw me, it wouldn't be that nervous. But like at the Improv or something where there's like 7 comics and they didn't see me do an hour, or I don't know for sure if they saw me or whatever, if they didn't maybe like me that much, in those scenarios, sometimes I would be a little bit more nervous just on the approach, first 5-10 seconds.
What do you do? I'm a pretty girl, all right, and I'm walking by, and you don't know if I saw you or not, but you had a good set, and you feel good set confidence.
Where are you?
I'm sitting down at a table at the Improv in the lounge area, and you had seen me since before you even went up. Like, you had seen me a couple times, and you've been wanting to talk, but you've been too scared, and now you have GSC. good set confidence.
Yeah, I get
and
that.
you're coming out, and I'm over here, and I'm sitting, and I'm with some friends, but I'm alone at the moment.
Okay. Can you pull your socks up a little bit?
Sure.
Thanks. Okay, you had it right there. Yeah, there you go.
But do it seriously. Do it do it for real.
For sure.
I know the jokes are involved, but do it the way you would.
Sure. I would go up to you and I'd be like, hey, those socks are pretty cool.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. I don't know. I always felt long socks were uncomfortable, but I thought they looked cute.
No, very cute. Super cute, those socks.
Thanks.
Yeah, I really like those a lot.
You're a comedian, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I didn't see your set, but
You were taking a shit during that, or? But I didn't mean. I'm sure you don't ever do that, but probably.
No. I walked. I had to leave for a little bit. I was on the phone with my aunt.
Oh, that's cool. Is she sick or?
No. My cousin just had.
Do you like me?
I don't know you.
Oh, I mean, would you like to get to know me like a lot better, maybe?
I just my friends.
Just tell me your number.
My friend's coming over.
Just tell me your number real quick.
My friend's coming over.
It's not a big deal. Just
and
tell me your
there
phone
it
number.
is. So that was a miss. So that one didn't work. I really gave you a real shot.
Can I try one more time?
Yeah, I was giving you a real shot. I was trying to play it real.
I felt like I started getting a little too needy.
Yeah.
I got a little too needy there.
Yeah.
Can we try it again?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, great. Same scenario?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Hey.
Hi.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't even trying to get your attention. How you doing?
Oh, whose attention were you trying to get?
Oh, the girl over there that just walked away.
Okay.
How are you, though?
I'm fine. Thanks. How are you?
I'm great.
Okay.
Do you feel like maybe you're coming on a little strong?
I have a boyfriend. And again, I think it was a little aggressive.
Wait, who was the boyfriend? Well, did I become the boyfriend at the end? And I
No,
won?
no.
I didn't win that scenario?
No, I think I have some advice for you.
Please. Go ahead. I'm engaged.
It sounds like
your girlfriend is fictional and lives in another country, but go ahead.
it sounds like what you're doing is trying to get her to like you, as opposed to just allowing two people to be present in a room and see what happens.
Interesting. Wait, can I do it for real? For real?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Okay. How is the coffee? I've wanted to try the coffee here.
Oh my gosh. Well, I love coffee. I drink coffee every day. I drink coffee at night. I used to do decaf, but it doesn't really keep me up. So now I have regular coffee, and it's really, really good. I have these little, what are they called? Little drops that I put in. I don't remember the name of them. It's instead of sugar, it's whatever it is, but it adds sweetener to it, and it's so good. And it doesn't even keep me up. And I used to not even drink caffeine at night, but now I do. Wow. I love it.
It's incredible. Yeah, I gotta go.
Okay.
I am on stage.
Take me with you.
No, I'm fine.
Okay, there you
so
go.
much.
You should always open with coffee.
Yeah, that's the best move. I just got to buy them a coffee first, or have somebody else buy them a coffee.
Yes.
Plant that in there.
Yes.
Then just wait for the right moment.
Yes.
That's probably the moment.
Yes.
You want to hear it for real? The quickest way I ever got a girl's number.
What do you guys think? Oh, I guess not. That's weird. I mean, I do want to hear it though.
Yeah. Well, now you're at an impasse.
What
did the audience say? The audience said.
Oh, I misunderstood.
Yeah.
Ben, for the audio only, pulled out of his pocket what he pulled out earlier, a note card that says, quote, yes, end quote. And now he's showing one that says, sure, in quotes.
Because of the microphone.
Yes.
Sure. Mm-hmm. So I was outside.
You got it. Just so you know, it's a storytelling device that not everybody knows, so I like to instruct.
Please.
Your job as a storyteller is not first to entertain, but it's to engage.
Yeah.
And I find a good way to do that is let people know. So there I was.
So there, okay.
And then when you say where you were, so there I was, right? I'm at the improv, blah, 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 blah. And then when you bring yourself into it, give us a little bit of who you are by saying, and you know me, and saying something that relates to it, right? So so there I was. I'm at the improv, right? I'm having a coffee. You know me. I love coffee.
Yeah.
So we really hit the who you are and why this detail's relevant.
I get that.
Okay.
So there I was at the improv having a coffee. You know me.
No, but do what you were going to do.
Oh.
It wasn't about coffee.
You want the actual details
version
with that format.
That's just the device.
So there I was, a normal cold Tuesday in Irvine at the Irvine Improv. And it's Ben Gleib. I'm walking up. You know me. I walk. That's how I get everywhere.
Okay.
Except when a car drops me off. But then the rest of the way, I'm always walking.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Could we do that again? But could it be like,
Snappier.
so it's Tuesday, and there I am. I'm at the Improv. It's it's not the close one. It's far away, and I'm walking up. You know me.
Oh,
I'm
so
like
act as though like people know exactly the details of my life. They live with me. They're there with me.
Yes,
they're there with me.
And it's not part of the story. It's just like
You're trying to get past the exposition, trying to get quickly past.
And by
it.
doing it, you're dancing, adding a little melody to it.
Yeah, making them feel like, oh, I need to catch up quick.
Yes.
I'm on board now.
And also, I'm listening. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm at the Improv.
Start over.
Okay. So there I am. I pull up to the Irvine Improv. It's a Tuesday night. You know me. It's no big deal. I go. I'm headlining the Irvine Improv. It's college night. It's no big deal.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Yes.
I know you get it.
Yeah.
So don't try to get it out of the way.
No,
Do you need something?
I thought you said you wanted me to get something out of the way.
No.
Make it seem like it didn't. Not a big deal.
But it's the same way I do with my hair, but it is a big deal.
Okay. Do you have a hat? Can I?
So there I am.
Yep.
Do it. Commit to it.
Okay.
All right. This is an audition. Treat it like an audition. I know you know how to do this.
Oh yeah.
I just feel like you're not wanting to.
I book one out of every 1,000, so
Yes.
I'm right in the zone.
At least. Start it over. Lights off. Spotlight.
So there I am outside of the Irvine Improv. It's a Tuesday night. It's Comedy Juice. It's no big deal. I'm on the show, and I walk up. What? You know me. I started Comedy Juice. I started Comedy Juice back in the day, so it's a big show with big names that I'm on because I can book myself on it, and people don't know that. I never would reveal that publicly. It just looks like I'm on the lineup with these big names. Everything's fine.
See how it works? How you sneak that in gives you an opportunity?
Yeah, to kind of denigrate myself and
It
reveal my big secrets.
While also making yourself approachable by being vulnerable and still giving relevant information.
We all want to belong. I get that across.
It works.
It did work.
And you know me, I love when things work.
Oh yeah, it's your favorite. Mm-hmm. Story literally made you wet, didn't it?
Yes.
Yep. That splashed a whole wave of water in your face.
$200.
You're welcome.
Go ahead.
And this beautiful girl is on her phone.
Okay.
You can tell by the way I said beautiful, right? You felt it. Beautiful girl's on her phone. And I just walked right up to her and I said, how are you going to call me if you don't have my number? Yeah. One line.
Sorry, I had a little gas.
Yeah.
What was that?
She farted and then it was over.
And then she gave you her phone number?
Yeah, literally. I was like, how are you going to call me if you don't have my number? How are you going to text me if you don't have my number? And she goes, oh, what's your number? And took it. And I'm like, text me so I have it. And she texted me and we began a textual relationship.
Now, this was a long time ago. Now it's important to not give girls your phone numbers.
That's correct.
Now you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to go like, this is how you, if this were to, if that move were now, let me show you how I would do it.
Sure.
All right. So I'm at the Improv, Irvine.
But can
you know me. It's I don't want to schlep down there. It's because it's like a 2-hour drive. So I asked to go later on the lineup so I could leave later to avoid the rush hour. Right.
That's a great move.
So there I am. I'm at the Improv. I'm in the green room. I pop out to see what the room's like, and I see this beautiful girl. Beautiful.
Can you do it again, but not say rum? Can you say room the way the word's intended? You said the way the rum is like.
Okay.
Yeah, try one more time.
So I'm at the Irvine Improv.
Yeah.
And it's like 2 hours away. You know me. I don't want to schlep all the way down there. So it's like I asked to go later on in the lineup, right? So I could avoid rush hour. So I look out at the room.
It's 1 hour away, and I feel like if people Googled it, they would feel you're lying, and you'd lose a lot of credibility on the long haul.
Sometimes it takes 2 hours in rush hour.
Yeah, but not if you're going late.
Yeah, I'd say I don't want to schlep 2 hours.
But you're saying, you know me, it's 2 hours away, as though that's the time, and then it could be longer with traffic. You implied it could be longer with traffic. If you could just do it one more time and just make it a little more clear geographically and time-wise, it's not 2 hours. Without traffic, it could be with. That would be a little more fair.
I know. So I recognized it the first time, and it wasn't worth acknowledging because I wanted to play along.
Yeah.
But what you're doing now is cutting me off because you feel that that's what I was doing to you.
No, not at all.
Because I don't think you care if I say rum.
Oh, I very much do. I hate when people say rum and rough instead of roof. I hate when they say legs instead of leg or eggs.
What do they say instead of leg?
Legs.
Who says legs?
A lot of people. My best friend Jason. I had to shave my legs.
That's just the way he talks.
Yeah, it's not the way to say the word. It's not the way to say the word. I don't ever understand it. I will never understand it. It's like, and with all respect to all cultures, when people in all languages, but when people whose language from their country of origin uses different characters that are not English characters, right? Like Chinese or whatever, that's different characters. And then when
whoa.
Yeah, it's a fact. It's a fact. And when they come here and they choose the letters in English that are going to spell their name, and they choose letters that don't spell the sounds that they want you to say, and they're like, well, I know it says. Nguyen, but it's pronounced win. Well, it was never in English letters. Just choose the English letters that spell the sounds you want us to make. Wouldn't that be better for everybody? Why are you choosing decoy letters? Does that make any sense?
Admittingly, I kind of checked out on that whole thing.
You did.
I did.
You want to play it back?
No. And now a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. Hi, I'm Rick Glassman from the Take Your Shoes Off podcast. And yeah, listen, I'm going to be honest. Sometimes I get a little sad. Why do I feel the way I feel? Well, I'll tell you something. I'm a sucker for therapy. I go to therapy. I ask questions. They ask me questions. How do I understand internally why I am the way I am, as opposed to trying to feel that, I need to change all these external things? I talk about therapy all the time on this podcast, so if you watch a lot, I'm sure you already know how much I believe in it. But BetterHelp is and has been a sponsor for a little bit. It's a very convenient service. Finding a therapist, finding any doctor, finding a specialist is a daunting task. BetterHelp helps curate that. It's convenient, accessible, affordable, and entirely online. You can get matched with a therapist after filling out a brief survey and switch therapists anytime. When you want to be a better problem solver, therapy could help get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/TYSO and save 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/TYSO.
Hey Goblins, I'm Jordan, producer of the hit single, I Am Phenomenal by Rick. If you have kids and you love music, I've got a new animated YouTube series called Station Little. Maybe you've got a picky eater, maybe your kid doesn't love to share. We cover those topics and so much more. So check out Station Little on YouTube today.
My only point is just don't say rum, because the word is a room, there's 2 O's, and it's not R-U-M.
You know, sometimes I'll text somebody and I'll realize I made either a grammatical error or I spelled something wrong.
Yeah.
And if it then would be confusing, I will correct it. I'll be like, I meant this. You know,
of course.
Usually I'll put a reply. I'll type what the word was with an asterisk so they better understand.
Yep.
But if I am talking in Siri and it uses the wrong your, or if I'm typing something, but it still makes sense, I don't go back and correct it because I know they know what it is.
Yes.
And I don't feel insecure about making the mistake.
I agree.
So I do find that when somebody says something and I know what they mean, unless I feel like they don't realize they made a mistake, like, you're using that word wrong. And then I have to be, it really has to matter because it really, to me, doesn't.
Yeah.
It's just, you get it.
Yeah, but rum, that's a different story.
All right.
Do you always say the word rum?
I believe you that I said rum. I don't realize, but I used to have a problem
Just
saying
play it back.
I pop out to see what the room's like.
I used to have a problem saying R's.
When you were a young baby?
Yeah.
You mean like most babies did?
Well, I wasn't a young baby. I was like 3rd, 4th grade.
Okay.
So I had what you would call I had to go to speech class.
Me too. My whole childhood.
For S's?
No, for stuttering. I couldn't even speak at all.
Oh yeah, I remember you had a stutter.
Disfluency, stutter. Couldn't even talk at all. Couldn't make sounds come out of my vocal cords a lot of my life. So,
what was the reason?
My vocal cords would just clamp down. I would get really nervous and overwhelmed. And I knew for me it was psychological, but I didn't really always know it. But I knew it when I started taking speech classes and they were like teaching me technical tricks to get past it. And I'm like, this is not it. It's my brain's blocking my ability to talk. That's all that's going on here. And I would just like, a friend would pass in the hall and I wanted to say hi. And I'd be like, I just couldn't do it. But I could always sing. That's why I like singing. I'm not the best. I was maybe exaggerating my singing skills earlier because I was little. Wanted to make a good impression.
I've seen people who have a stutter, but when they sing, they don't.
Oh, yeah. Most people can sing even if they stutter because vocal cords are very loose and it's melodic and it's, you know?
Oh, it's about say away. When you look into your eyes, you want to find a way. When you're soaking to breathing and you know what to say. Forming up and going down, there's so many do and say I. But when you were doing it,
yeah.
Now you were doing it great, but it didn't fit with what I was doing, and I feel like it took away from both of us.
Right now?
Just now.
No, it was great.
It wasn't proper harmony. That was
funny.
That's
funny you think that because as my eyes were closed, I'm getting really into it. Like a third of my brain literally thought, "This is so good."
Huh?
This is so good.
I wonder if that's the same thing that goes like, "I'm a good dancer." Man on the street. It's
in
like
my
some
head,
of it.
You were gonna have like We Are the World type, like all the like Michael Jackson and Dionne Warwick singing, and it would be you and I in the front, just like completely connected.
Maybe Michael Jordan and Warwick Davis. which was supposed to be the cast of Willow too, but
Really?
yeah,
Interesting.
I was really mad Mardigan that never came out. For the Willow heads out here, I think they're gonna love that joke.
Is that a big
Mad
fan base
Mardigan
here?
is Val Kilmer's character's name in it.
Oh, I had a really interesting day hanging out with Val Kilmer once. I don't know if it's that interesting, but he was a really interesting guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was cool. He'd lost the weight. He was looking like Batman again. People were cold in his balcony. Somebody asked for a pashmina. He's like, I'll get you a pashmina. I didn't know heard the word before. And he walks off and he had one on his back and he like flipped it around and it floated in the air like Superman, like Batman's cape. It looked like Batman was going to get pashminas for people.
What's a pashmina?
I don't know. It's some kind of a cape or like a blanket. A blanket. Like a sweater blanket, like a knit blanket. I don't even know it has to be knit, but it feels like it's different than a blanket. It's like maybe a rich person's blanket.
I mean, it's kind of can't really say that about everybody. It's a bit of a blanketed statement.
Yeah, I guess so.
Cut to the montage. Do we have a you? Whoa. That's
So if I open this right now, you'd be mad.
want to do that.
Right. I don't want to.
It's not.
Do you think I will?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm really not. I'm so sorry.
But is it kind of also? You ever watch the stand up on AGC? No. Okay. First of all, this isn't a blanketed statement. We're both very hyperactive people. Kind of send you a George. So would you make up whatever that kind of stuff?
Okay.
This is a blanketed statement. You see what I'm doing here?
Yeah.
And that's a big blanketed statement because Daddy gets paid.
I would get ribs or steak every Friday.
Yeah. This isn't a blanketed statement, but my thoughts are, got my first TV show is exciting. And, it's a blanketed statement to say that only when you're on a TV show it's exciting.
Whoa, it's weird that you just
just
said
said
blanketed
blanket when that
statement
blanket
and the
fell.
blanket just fell
What
off your
the
chair.
fuck?
Stuff you can do other than be an actor. I mean,
And this is a blanketed statement to go on a date because, you rather make that a blanketed statement.
All right, well,
Right. But I thought it was really
Blanket.
I'm enjoying it.
You already got him off. I was like,
at this
and
house,
that's not a
you're-
blanketed
you know
statement.
what?
You could always do.
Yeah, it was just kind of a weird energy.
And this is a blanketed statement. Pardon me. It's very much a blanketed statement. But Americans will blanketed statement.
Blanket statement.
And I was out of town, and I'm on 2 shows now, 2 network.
Push it like we just.
That's a blanketed statement. A blanketed statement.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
It's really impressive.
Thank you.
Your archive of footage is
Each other's sentences. Fuck. What were you gonna say?
Fuck what?
My archive of footage is what?
Second.
Speaking of archival footage, you before the episode on your way over here, which maybe before you left because you were a little late.
I was 7 minutes late.
You told me you'd be 7 minutes late, but you were a little later than that.
I was later than that. I was not later than that.
I actually don't know.
No,
I believe you.
No,
Let's
I
see.
don't think it was.
Let's see when
Just
the
check
here
real quick
text happened.
The here. I said 2:07. What time did it happen? The here text happened at 2:07 exactly.
2:07.
So
7 minutes
I was
late.
not late from when I said I would be late.
7 minutes was, by the way, when you parked, not when you got into the place.
That's true, but you said you had to come meet me outside, so that can't be on me. The meeting time has to be when we're going to meet.
Sure, would have been great if you got here too.
It would have been, but also you texted me. It was supposed to be 1, and you texted me to push it to 1:30.
Yeah, and then
So
you said,
I
and then you
kindly
said I could do
even
2.
2's fine, and you said 2's great.
Well, then I thought.
But I just figured the day is a little looser than like strict timing if you're pushing
I
it
know
back
you.
yourself.
I know you did.
But also, you
I know
sent
you
me the
figured
text.
that.
You know what made me feel really happy this morning when I got that text from you, or afternoon, whatever it was? You sent me a text exactly like I've sent to people 3 million times. You and I have similar brains in the way that.
I think I know what you're referencing. Tell me.
Please. Well, your text said, I can still do the podcast at 1 if you need to, but I would prefer 1:30 because I'm going to bed so late. And I looked at the timestamp and it was like 4:07 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And I do it all the time. I'm up later than I expect, and I'll tell people out of respect, I'll say, I can still do it at the time we plan. Maybe a little bit you feel like, I'll sacrifice and stick to our current plan. But if it's okay, I'd rather go later. You want to give them the options, let them know it's still okay.
But one
I'd be
thing I
better.
think that's relevant, which I didn't do by design,
Yeah.
I didn't say if you need to, because that puts a little pressure.
Hmm.
I wrote can still do 1 p.m., but I'm going to sleep late, and if you could do 1:30, let's do that instead. It's more like, listen, I could do 1.
Right.
If you want to do 1, that's not a big deal.
Right.
But if it doesn't matter, let's push it.
Exactly.
But I didn't want to be like, if you need to, like I didn't want to stress.
That would have made it even harder on me to say, I need 1. Got it.
Because I wanted
That's
you to
nice.
feel, I wanted
That's
you to
very
feel
nice.
comfortable being like, no, 1 is what I wanted to do. That's best for me.
Right.
And then be like, yeah, that's fine.
I had to know your preference, but also not know that you would honor our agreement.
Yeah, and it's no skin off my back.
Totally.
And I still woke up in time
To do 1.
to do 1. I wouldn't have showered. I wouldn't have gone and got the coffees, but I
Yeah,
would have been able to do it.
Totally.
So now that I had a little more time, I'll shower. I'll go get coffee. Had a bite to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the point I was bringing up is you messaged me about you gave me some a poster of your special. What's the name of it?
The Mad King.
Mad King. Well, the Mad King.
The Mad King.
Really? Like
King.
Game of Thrones?
It's not like Game of Thrones. It's not directly called the Mad King, but it's fine.
Well, put up a picture,
Yep.
but Photoshop the Mad King on his head. I mean, Ben, this is straight from Game of Thrones,
No,
dude.
not in the least. You're doing that.
Aragon the Terrible.
You're
Wait a
doing
minute.
that.
This is
Well,
what are we
listen,
doing here?
It's the Mad King for other reasons. You know?
And you sent me some clips.
Yep.
We'll set one up now.
Yeah.
What's this clip you want to show here?
My God, I choose. Sure, I'll tell you about a time when we're talking about.
How long is this clip?
Pretty short.
How long is this clip?
30, 40 seconds.
We're gonna show 30 tops.
You can cut it down to 30.
Maybe even 20.
You can probably make it work.
Are we gonna get flagged?
Especially with this setup. There's no flagging.
Could I say that?
No flagging.
Okay.
I think you want to say flagisexual is what you want to say.
Mm-hmm.
I was not always. I mean, I'm still not wonderful with girls, but I was never even as good as I was now. When I was earlier, I wasn't as good.
Oh, we know.
Yeah, but you can know. And like one time in college, I had a date with a really hot girl, and it didn't go well. I just didn't. I misread the signs.
Cut to a clip.
And she wanted to cook me dinner in my on-campus apartment, and she did. And she could, and we were drinking during dinner. We got a little buzz going on, and I never thought it could have gone this well. So at the end of dinner, she looks at me and she goes, "I have a very early morning tomorrow. So do you mind setting your alarm clock for me?" And I swear to God, I looked at her and said, "You want to borrow my alarm clock?" And then I unplugged my alarm clock and handed it to her. I said, take it. I'll ask my mom if she can call and wake me. She's a nice lady. And I escorted her to the door. I'm like, let's get you out of here. You got an early morning. Let's get you going. She looked confused. I looked confused. 3 days later, I was walking through campus and it hit me. And I was like, no!
Oh.
I never even got my alarm clock back.
Dude, this is funny.
I was late to class for like a month.
This is really funny.
Thank you so much.
And this is called The Mad King on HBO, Sundays at 8?
It's on, no. That's,
10.
That's
Sundays
Game
at
of
10.
Thrones. That's Game of Thrones. This
Right.
is on YouTube.
Fire and Ice?
This is on YouTube. It's a special. It's not related to Game of Thrones, nor is it authorized by the Game of Thrones people, and they asked me to be very specific about
Dude,
that.
you fucking slayed. In fact, I'm going to call you the King Slayer now. So if you want to watch that special and even more, head on over to my description. Well, we will have a link right down there.
If it's a link to Game of Thrones, I'll be so pissed.
Dracarys!
Shit. I'm about to start watching the new series. Wow. Can you bring your levels down a little? Or I didn't mean to pull a Pete Holmes on you, but
It's fine. That was $1,200, that effect we just did.
really?
Mm-hmm.
I hope we get the
He gave
views.
us a great deal, though. So, Tom, thank you for doing Tom, who does our animation, is so fantastic. And I've been working with him. Pardon me, I don't like that language. We've been working together for, over 2 years now, I think. And I know it's been over 100 episodes. And we've still never met. He lives in England.
Wow.
And I used to be in London a lot.
Oh, you're not with that girl anymore?
Betty, we are not together anymore.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Thank you.
Yeesh.
But as I always say when it comes up, we still love Betty. I love Betty.
What happened?
Not relevant.
Okay.
And nothing happened. It wasn't like there was a happening. But
it's hard to date somebody that lives across the world. Is that part of it?
I don't know. I talked about it a little bit before. It's not part of the story. But
was that part of it?
The
distance.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh well,
I like having space. Not that I wanted to have
a lot of space.
Yeah, it is a lot of space. But we worked well with that, I think.
Okay.
But Tom and I talk all the time. He lives in England, but like north of London. So we plan on meeting. It never happened.
Do you think there's some chance Tom is fucking your ex-girlfriend?
Yeah, I guess.
Some chance of it.
I guess, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he's still a great animator.
He's just drawing him fucking her right here. He goes, "This one's my treat." He's so talented, and he's an introverted guy, and as I feel like a lot of my audience is, like we're just a little socially awkward people that find our tools to do what we do. And not to say that that's his. He's also a musician, but He's very funny, and he started a YouTube channel. Maybe it started more than recently, but I know he's been posting them recently, and the clips are so funny. And I want to give a little plug. It's LT_Tom on YouTube. So go ahead and check that out. We'll put a link to the Game of Thrones trailer in the description.
Oh, thanks, Rick. Here at my YouTube channel, you'll find all sorts of comedy sketches. From interviewing Andrew Tate on Hot Ones, making fun of Marvel movies, and turning myself into Amber Heard's poo. And the best part is, it's all animated, including me. There's also
But you know, another thing that does bother me, a pet peeve of mine legitimately, is people using underscores in their handles. Just because you have to say underscore and it's 3 syllables added to your handle. You could say dash, it's 1 syllable. It doesn't look quite as good as an underscore, but it looks fine. In some way, it's better. It's in the middle of the letter.
But usually when you're...
Dash, Rick dash Glassman, not Rick underscore Glassman. All they're hearing is the underscore.
But most of the time when you're conveying a handle to somebody, it isn't spoken.
That's not... A lot of the time it's spoken.
I don't think
when
so.
you convey it, rarely do you convey it at all when it's not spoken. When you have to convey it, it's almost always spoken.
If you
it's
were
on a podcast,
if you
on a
were
show,
Ben,
how do I follow you on Instagram? Oh, go to underscore.
If you were Ben _Gleib, you could just say, I'm Ben Gleib, and I would Instagram search Ben Gleib, and I would find you.
No, you get several accounts, some pretending to be me, some fan pages, and then how are you going to know the real me?
Are you not verified?
I'm verified.
There you go.
That's a good point.
Thank you.
But if you're verified, shouldn't you just have the name without the underscores?
Some people buy them up.
But also, you just did a straw man argument there, because just because people could find it doesn't mean it wouldn't be better to create handles that don't have any dash or underscore, or second choice a dash and not
when
an
I
underscore.
am searching people that I want to send a message to, I don't type in their handle. I type in their name.
But what's the argument for an underscore?
You already said it. Cut back.
I don't know that it does look good.
Doesn't look quite as good as an underscore, but it looks fine.
Okay, I did say that, but am I allowed to evolve my opinion? I think actually dashes kind of look better. Like underscores, it almost looks like it's like clerical or like it's a computer programming. A dash is like, I'm putting a dash. When I'm writing, no one ever writes an underscore in their life. If you're writing something, I'm going there, dash, go here. You write dashes in life. You don't write underscores ever in print, in handwriting. You would never do it.
You know, technology has changed the way we write stuff. We also in print didn't used to write all these different versions of emoticons, but they have helped technology and communication.
That's true. That's true. I can't argue that one back. That's a good point. It still doesn't make underscore better than dashes, or just thinking of a title.
It's a choice.
What about thinking of a title without either? That's the better move.
LT Tom must have been taken.
No, but he could be like LT Tom Time or LT Tom.
Yeah, or LT Tom Official.
Yeah.
Yeah, he liked it better that way.
I don't think. What if he didn't think of the other?
It's his handle, his choice.
Let's take it to the Supreme Court. Are you calling Tom?
Yeah.
You're gonna ask him if he's fucking your ex-girlfriend?
No.
I would. Get it out there. Get it out there. Did I always have this wetness above my nipples? Did he not pick up?
He did. He said that he thought underscore looked better.
Wow, that was a very efficient conversation.
Yeah.
He does animation?
Yeah.
Is that because he was shunned from anime?
I don't know.
Anime? Lick it now! Anime!
Are you okay?
Your reaction freaked me out. I feel like I got injured by your reaction.
You could have pitched that. Whatever you just did.
I preferred acting it out.
Tom used to, maybe still does, I'm not sure, but he would, one of his jobs was Fiverr, you know, the company?
Yeah.
He would do the anime. He wasn't like he worked for the company Fiverr to do like animations for their little advertisements and commercials.
For their
and stuff.
advertising.
Yeah.
I've used Fiverr for animations, but not to advertise themselves.
Right.
For my own stuff. I end my videos with I realized I have a new logo, right? It's the power. I realized the power button that we all have on a million devices. The power button.
Mm-hmm.
If you just flip it like this, it's a G. It looks like a G. So I own the power button now. I mean, that's my logo. So think about everybody now has my logo all over their house.
It's fucking nuts. But it's like, could you please put it the right way?
Yeah. Oh,
90 degrees clockwise,
90
please.
degrees clockwise at everybody's house.
You know what? That's a good T-shirt.
Taco neck syndrome.
Just call it 90 degrees clockwise and have a picture of your logo.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That could be my nickname or my slogan.
NDC. 90 degrees clockwise.
Why couldn't I figure that out? I was thinking
Maybe,
9.
I bet you if I said NDCW, you may have.
Yes, that would have helped.
Because a lot of people sometimes think, but it's really C.
NDCW.
which is actually the original name of
BCBG
of the
NASA.
bad guy in It. His name was Clockwise at one point.
Was it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And they
And
thought
it became-
it was just too expensive and they needed something cheaper.
Yeah, they got to bring the price down. I get it.
Pennywise.
You know, I know. I get it.
Um,
Can I have my nickel back?
Yes.
Thank you.
So
If you don't think I'm leaving here with a nickel, you're wrong.
I don't know if I have a nickel here.
I'll wait. In the whole place, you got a nickel here.
Because of all the animation that we do, and like I've really liked the idea of directing animation and all this, and I want to do that, and I'm going to soft pitch something that my friends John and Allison and I have been working on for a while.
Yeah.
And I think we might just do it here, a little cartoon.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and with Tom, Allison, John, and myself.
What's the cartoon of?
I don't want to pitch it yet.
Okay.
But the concept was first brought up when John was on my podcast. DeWalt, you know John.
I love John. That's the animator? He moved to England?
No.
Oh.
John and Allison are writers.
Uh-huh. Allison's his wife.
John's the husband.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do now. You
can't identify it.
The woman.
That a woman's a
the
wife?
woman shouldn't be the wife.
She shouldn't.
No.
She's nothing now.
No, she's something.
What is she?
She is the subject, and the husband that's attached to her.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
She's subjected to this bullshit.
No, he is.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, this is my friend John and his wife Allison. Boo! You gotta say this is my friend Allison, and you know this knuckle breath over here. Oh,
yeah.
Can't even pick up his own underpants without pooping in his feet.
That's the whole thing with him.
A lot of, like you on TV and commercials. That's what they do. They make the guy like and then the woman, is a lot of commercials. The wife is hot as fuck.
Yeah, same as in all sitcoms.
And the husband
and
is
in
just
life.
a piece of shit, fucking dork loser.
He's never been fatter. He always works at the post office.
Yeah, or UPS.
Yeah,
we're both thinking of King of Queens, right?
Yeah, exactly right.
Because that's the only husband that I can think of
that fits all these.
Or he's a cop.
Yep, he's a cop. Yep, correct.
Or he's a judge.
He looks at his wife and he thinks to himself, "Did I do that?" Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He could be a judge.
Whoopsies.
Night court. Is he thinking night court there with the judge?
No, I'm actually thinking of, how come he don't want me, man?
Hey, you know what? There's nothing to do, It's not like I'm 5 years old, waiting up every night, asking Mom, when's Dad coming home? Who needs him? Hey, he wasn't there to teach me how to shoot my first hoop, but I learned, didn't I? Got pretty damn good, too, didn't I, Uncle Phil?
Yes.
Got through my first date without him. I learned how to drive without him. I had 14 birthdays. He never even sent me a card. To hell with him. You know what, Uncle Phil? I'm going to get through college without him. I'm going to get me a great job without him. I'm going to marry me a beautiful honey, and I'm going to have me a whole bunch of kids, and I'm a better father than he ever could be. There ain't a damn thing he can teach me about how to love my kids. How come he don't want me, man? How come he don't want me?
Mr. Rickers. Mr. Rickers. You... I thought you were sad, real sad. My heart hurt for that. It's black people.
Do you actually play guitar? I know you play piano.
A little bit.
You play piano.
Yeah.
You're better at piano, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I bet. Do you do this intentionally where it's a nice couch, but it's a little sinking, so your guests are kind of look less shapen than you and more
No, I
almost
actually
like a
put
therapy.
2 pillows there.
Oh,
I should
really?
get another one. Should I get another one?
Yeah, because I'd like to be able to be like this.
Yeah, let me go. Hold on.
Just so that we'd look more equitable.
I should do that. I even saw somebody commented
I don't wanna
something
be
on
like
that.
this.
I doubled the pillows up, but
yeah.
What happens if you sit back further?
But then I could.
Yeah.
Okay. That might solve it.
Yeah.
That might solve it.
You know what I like about you that you've done a couple of times? You're like, oh right,
Yeah.
Like what you did when you were having the underscore conversation.
I'm
the
willing to admit
emoticons.
mistakes and learn.
So attractive.
Thank you.
I would love to do that if I ever mess up.
Yeah.
But I've never messed up in this
It'll
run.
happen. You just, how dare you?
First base.
Fucking rum. Go to your rum right now.
Ben, we've known each other for a long time.
Yeah.
One of my favorite clips, I'll probably repost when this comes out and I'll put it in here, was from your game show when you had Funches, David Finn, Brent Moore, and myself on.
And you broke the game show.
But speaking of
you
admitting
broke
they
it.
were wrong,
Nobody ever broke it. Yeah. We admitted you were
Set it up.
So Rick's on a celebrity episode of Idiot Test, my game show, still on Game Show Network weekends and Game Show Central on all streaming devices. Idiot Test,
Put up a
one
lower
word,
third.
one T in the middle. We made a mistake spelling the name of our own show. And celebrity episode, Rick comes on and he challenges one of our questions. And I'm like, Rick, our questions are correct. And he's like, this is not correct. And I said, we've never been wrong. And we had to pause the game and go into the booth.
And it took
and
only 15 minutes
took
of pausing.
15 minutes
You know,
of
there's audience.
stopping down the production, lost us a solid $40,000 during this stop down. You're trying to win much less than that for charity. And you were right. And we had to change. We had to accept your answer. We had to accept. I think it was about sugar, maybe a bag of sugar was the test. You broke the game show. It was incredible. It was quite an episode. Ron Funches broke down at one point and refused to continue.
Yes.
And you broke it. Other than that, it was great.
What I forget. That's not the clip I meant though. I forgot about that part. But do you have that? Can we find those? You think?
I have a hard drive with a lot of episodes. I'm not sure if that one's on
That's
there.
a lot of work. Maybe the clip I was talking about was this one.
Rick. Here's how it works, my friend. You and your partner, David Finn, who is backstage and cannot hear us, will have a combined 40 seconds to answer the exact same test. Whenever you lock in and stop the clock, whatever time is remaining is all that your partner will have left to answer. If only one of you gets it right, you get out at $1,000. But if you both get it right, your charities get
$100,000.
$10,000. $10,000!
Who's on the show with you?
David.
You said, David, roll the clip. And I'm like, there's no David. And there's like, there's David. Roll the clip, David. And I said, there's no David. And then
The guy who rolls the clip goes, my name is David.
I'm David. And I was like, oh, I didn't know we had a David back there.
Yeah.
That was fun times.
Actually, it's Dave_Ed.
He has erectile problems?
Good.
Thank you. ED, erectile dysfunction. Are you filming me right now?
No, I'm seeing if I could get Funches on the phone.
Oh, nice.
To remind us.
To ask him why he didn't want to continue recording at that moment.
That's not really working. I don't remember what that was, but I do remember something happened where he got a little like, and then afterwards he goes, yeah, I'm sorry.
It was like we needed him to like say a certain line because we had to stop down because you broke the game show or something, and we had to like get a pickup line, and he's like, I don't want to say that. And I was like, but we can't move forward. The game it stops. We can't. We need that line again. He's like, but I don't want to. He's like, I'm very high, and I don't want to say that. And we're like, okay, well,
I don't know if he was high then.
I think he was. He said he was high on air on the show.
You're a big pot smoker.
I wouldn't say big, but I
You
enjoy
were?
it.
You used to be?
I used to smoke more than I do now. I mean, I do definitely still indulge in it, but not, in a very regulated manner.
I am somebody who...
I asked you if you wanted to smoke today, and you said you can, but I won't. And so I'm not going to be the
Yeah, I
one
was letting
high.
you know that if you want to get high, absolutely. Getting high on the show is not a rare thing. It's a Sunday afternoon, and after this, I have a lot of stuff to do. I just don't want to be high.
I'm glad you clarified the rest of the sentence, because normally it's a Sunday afternoon would be the perfect reason to say you are smoking.
Well, I've been a bit busy
People
recently.
might love us being blasted the rest of the episode.
I think they would, but I have my home time to finally catch up on some housework that I want to get into.
It's hard to do housework high because everything for an hour I'll be like, wow, when I bought that, and the day will be gone.
I remember when you came. The reason I brought that up is because I am somebody who, at least in the business that we are in, I sometimes like to be high during work. I mean, some people might think, oh, that's unprofessional, you shouldn't. But there are some people where like being high is
and it puts you right in the moment much more than you forget about a lot of the other shit. Remember when we got high in your mom's car?
That's what I was just thinking about. You were performing at Hilarities, I think, in Cleveland, right?
Yeah.
This was more than 10 years ago.
Yep.
And you were staying at whatever the hotel was. And I met up with you, and we went to the baseball field.
We went sledding.
I think it was Jacobs Field at the time.
It was snow covered.
Yeah, and we
snuck in. We got let in for free.
We got let in,
even though it was like $40 a person. We got
because they were closing really soon.
We convinced them, and honestly, we sucked the hell out of their dicks, and we got right in. Remember that?
It was a different time.
It was a different. Yeah, back then you could be carefree.
And yeah, they turned the whole field
from the bleachers.
Yeah,
the top of the bleachers,
sledding things
like a 200, 300 foot sled, and you could slide the whole way down. And we didn't enjoy 1 second of it because we were just filming each other.
Oh, I remember enjoying it.
No, I enjoyed it.
I don't remember filming.
We filmed it a little bit. I have a clip somewhere, but and then we got high out of an apple in your mom's car.
Yeah.
Actually, I did. You might not have indulged. You might have been a little nervous about the fact that I was smoking weed in your mom's car.
I remember I didn't want to get high and drive.
Oh, right.
But you wanted.
And then
to
you took me for the best sandwich I ever had in my life.
Paninis.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's what it was called. Paninis.
Oh, right.
And they make fresh cut fries.
Yes.
And they put it on the sandwich. You get like pastrami or turkey or chicken or whatever with coleslaw. But I don't like coleslaw because I don't like the mayonnaise. But this was just peppered cabbage.
Light coleslaw, yeah, peppered cabbage, exactly.
Peppered cabbage, delicious, fresh, hot fries on this amazing
Maybe
sourdough
a little bit of a
bread.
vinaigrette on the coleslaw. A little.
I don't
bit.
think so.
No,
because I don't eat
none
vinaigrette.
Of it? Really, no kind of a vinegar on that coleslaw.
No,
just peppered cabbage.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe.
Man, that's a great sandwich.
It's a great sandwich.
Ooh, I'm hungry.
Yeah, me too.
How long have you been doing stand up? Because when I met you, you were like already. Like you had been doing it for a while. You were making a living doing stand-up. And that was 2010 probably?
I've been doing it like 22 years.
Today?
I mean, roughly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't been doing it for 22 years today.
Roofly.
I hate when people say rum and rough instead of roof.
Yeah, a long time.
Mm-hmm.
A long time I've been doing stand-up.
Is that? But you also you do television and a lot of different things.
Yeah,
and those might last a little bit of time, maybe a little longer, but not as consistent as stand up.
Yeah.
Would you say the majority of your money has come from television or stand up?
Television. Yeah, unfortunately, I think that might be changing for me soon. I feel like.
Unfortunately?
No. Fortunately, I think that might be changing for me soon. Because I feel like, I don't know, the feedback from this new special has been really, really positive, and if hopefully the views need to get to a place where it can change the game for me. But I would like to be focusing a lot more on my stand-up. I have a lot of skills there, I think, that have been also untapped just because I haven't been able to focus on it, like for financial reasons, and money comes from TV more so. And so,
why can't you focus on it? TV is taking up too much of your time to tour.
TV
is taking up too much of your time to tour.
TV taking too much time to tour. Wow, that's pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
TV is taking too much time to tour. Tomato. TV dinners.
People watching it like, I gotta check out that special now.
Yeah, I think we sold it.
It just the clip, all the clips is just they're all just alliteration bits. It's ever told us 10 and they're not even real alliteration. You just put a T at the beginning of everything.
Towing dates with the beautiful Timmons.
It's like, this guy's fucking awesome. Toss him.
Toss him.
Yeah.
Toss him out of this fucking club. I like that I was acting out stand-up holding a mic in front of a mic.
Yeah.
I had to hold another mic.
Yeah, why not just do it like this?
I don't know. I could have actually really done it. I was afraid to pinch this cord.
Yeah.
Every day of my life.
Careful.
You be careful.
Okay. Do you want to be somebody who's on the road all the time?
No, I don't want that. So maybe I'm wishing the wrong things.
What do you want?
I want to host a TV show or a web show that is consistent, that stays on for a very long time.
You want to take your stand-up muscle and bring it to hosting.
Yeah, I mean, I will never stop doing stand-up. I'll do it till the day I die, but I'd like to be at the place where I can go and do 1 or 2 nights in a weekend at a big theater and not have to do 5 shows over 4 nights at a comedy club.
Are you still doing that?
This is the first year I took off the road in 15 years. I decided to not go on the road. Since I became headliner 15 years ago, I decided to not go on the road this year and focus on building up my stand-up and my videos. I'm doing things with TYT and doing a video series for them.
What's TYT?
The Young Turks. It's like an online news network. And I do comedic videos, my take on the world, but comedically 3 days a week. And I anchor some of their show, co-anchor some of their shows.
Are you still doing your podcast?
Still doing my podcast. Just started a new season last week on Earth. I summarized the world, everything that happened during the last week. News,
like
politics, pop culture. Trent, you've been on the podcast.
You're a long time ago.
Usually I do it solo. That's why I don't have guests very often.
It's hard to get guests.
Yeah, it's not even just that. It's just I have so much to say about the news that sometimes the guests kind of... You want me to tell you about it?
I'll
So during this last week on Earth, the world fucking went crazy again.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of things happening.
So
I brought you a handful of top secret documents on the way in here.
Sure. You have been doing headlining for 15 years.
Yep.
And you've been doing it like you haven't stopped. but there are people talking about audiences around the country, right? The people that aren't hardcore stand-up heads, but they like stand-up comedy. If you ask who their favorite comic is, they can name one or two.
Yeah.
They've watched some specials, but they're not part of the zeitgeist. They're not listening to podcasts, blah, 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 blah. You have been doing it for so long and been making a living. Pardon my candor. I wouldn't think that you are a household name.
God, that's true.
And you're still able to make a living. And I think it's an interesting pocket of people who are able to sell enough tickets to get booked at clubs and to make money and make it be worth it. But still people don't know who you are and what does it take? I mean, there's no right answer, but for you, what does it take for you to get to that place where you want to be, where I could do 2 nights at a theater as opposed to needing to do 5 in clubs?
It just takes like an exponential growth in my fan base. Like it needs to go from the numbers I have now to probably like 20 or 30 times bigger numbers, because these algorithms just crush everybody. So even when you're posting good things, it's reaching like 1 to 4% of your people. So you need to have like 20 times more than you would even want to sell in each market to even possibly reach them when you go to a market or to promote things that are national. I'm doing a lot of virtual shows now, and anybody can buy a ticket to it, but still so few see each post that it's very hard to reach your own people. So you need like millions of followers to even get,
Cut 5 years ago, before that was the main
10 years ago.
5 years ago even.
This has been for a while.
Ben. And I don't think so.
Does this bother you?
No, that's fine. Let's keep it on the brown. I think that in 2017, social media was relevant, very relevant, but it wasn't how people, podcasts weren't even big then.
Pretty big 5 years ago. I've been podcasting for 11 years.
Exactly. They weren't that
and
big.
Maron was already doing his then, and so was Bill Burr, and so was Kevin Smith, and Joe Rogan. They were all doing it then. Joe Rogan gave me advice on what my podcast should be that I did not follow. That was a mistake.
Okay. Well, for all intents and purposes, then let's say 10 years ago.
That's why we could have gotten there a long time ago.
I still think 5, but that wasn't the case. So how come it didn't happen then?
How come what didn't happen then?
What could you have done then?
Oh, that's one. I don't regret a lot in my life. The biggest regret in my life is that I stopped being consistent with my podcast. Rogan told me my podcast is about the news, right? He's like, "Are you sure you want to do that? Because if it's topical, you can't bank them, and then you have to do it every single week, and you're going to stop doing it at some point." And I said, "Yeah, but Kevin Smith, my podcast on Kevin's network, he's like, he likes this title, and I think it's a great pun, and I like the news, and so I'm going to do it." He's like, "Okay, good luck." And I did it consistently for 3 years, and it was like at the top of the charts. Debuted at number 9 iTunes comedy, was in the top 50 or 100 all the time, and then I just stopped doing it. Like life happened. I got my game show idiot test. I bought a house. Was dealt with a construction nightmare, and several times I took huge long breaks. Stop being consistent, and your audience disappears. And I'm certain I would have had to this day one of the top podcasts. I would be making probably millions of dollars from my podcast if I continued it, and I just didn't. And so I'm trying to build it back now that I'm in a more focused place in my life. But that's the difference, I think.
And that isn't even stand-up.
True. It was very hard to make it. The traditional way to make it huge with stand-up is like go back to the same markets every year for a million years and get email lists and build and crush it so hard that they come back the next time with new material. And like, you can do all that. It's great. But I don't know. I've always felt like my success would come more likely from other mediums like podcasting and TV stuff. And then people would discover my stand-up. But you never know. I mean, you never know where it's going to come from, but that's just what I've always thought. You can just reach more people at once. Like the thing that's frustrating for me about stand-up is you go and you pour your heart out into performance, you give it your all, you crush a show, and it might be for 60 people on a Sunday in Cedar Rapids. It's also why it's really great.
I rewatched
Frances
it recently.
McDormand was wonderful.
But I'm sorry, continue.
Very convincing. And as a stand-up, as a microphone, great in there. And yeah, so you just reach. That's why I also like doing virtual comedy a lot these days, because everybody can buy a ticket on Earth.
I don't even want to do Zoom. I don't do Zoom podcasts. I've had people ask me to do their podcasts and cool guests that I could have had on, but only available for Zoom, and I just don't even do them.
That's because most people don't do Zoom correctly. But I like reinvented what live touring could be with nowhere comedy, and we made it very close to real life. Like,
now here's where I'm going to pitch it and not do it, but I would like the idea of a big studio space, but just strings and cups, and it's just really, like rocks, and you have people like on another end of a glass, but they're zooming in.
People put a rack of ribs on a Flintstone car and it falls over.
Yes, that would be even more expensive and wasteful to the animal.
Probably.
But you get it?
I get it.
And Oh, I see.
Pretty impressive. I mean, changes the game.
Yeah. And now I'm in the mood for ribs.
Yeah. So you'll do it now.
Yeah.
You'll be virtual with me.
To me, there's no way of doing it.
That doesn't make any sense what you're saying. Why?
There's no way of doing it that could compare equally to in person, because there's ways of making the quality look good. Like I used to, for the first few weeks of pandemic, I did them that way.
Yeah.
And I would make sure they had good microphones. I would have them film with their camera or even their phone.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have to use a Zoom footage. I had Eric Griffin do one where he was
the crime dog.
No, you're thinking of Scruff McGruff.
That's correct.
Chicago, Illinois 60652.
I love Eric so much, obviously.
But I had on his green screen, and I snapped him into my living room. Cut to a clip. All right, Eric, do you mind if I bring you over to my chair real quick?
Sure, Rick.
Oh, that's a lot better. And it would be like he was in my living room. It looked good. It sounded good.
Yeah.
And for the end user, it was good.
So what's the problem?
There's no the energy connection and the timing.
Disagree. I don't think you gave it. You focused on it enough. All pandemic long, I did a 2-man Whose Line Is It Anyway kind of improv show with Greg Proops. We were never in the same room.
Well, I hope not if he's prooping.
You're damn right. Improvising at the same time together, and it was flawless for a year, once a month.
Okay.
I mean, and also you weren't doing it like this. Like, this is the studio we actually built in my house. This is Bill Burr doing 80 minutes of stand-up in the studio in my home.
Cool. We'll put
You're
that
surrounded by 30 feet of
We'll
video
put it up.
screens. Yeah, you're surrounded by 30 feet of video screens, and it feels like you're looking at and hearing your whole audience like in a club. So it's not quite as good as real life.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's very close, and you don't have to travel to Cedar Rapids to entertain them.
Great movie. And
she was great in it.
The
Frances McDormand, great character actor. Always plays weird looking,
She played Ed
looking
Helms,
ladies.
right?
She was Ed Helms with the tooth
Put up the
removed
poster.
in the Hangover.
But listen,
I'm
man,
gonna text you this photo so I don't forget.
I believe that you did it at a level that was the best you could do it.
Thank you.
To me,
the New York Times would agree. You know,
we'll put up a headline.
Yep.
Keep your fingers. But for me, I'm talking about my ability to connect and my ability to be engaged. I'm not there. I'm not there. It's hard. This is hard enough.
Yeah.
Especially with somebody you don't know well. Long form. And wait, go ahead. To have to do that? No, I'm sorry. No, go.
But it's just
To
like
have to
real
do
life.
that?
It's just like right now. It's the same thing. There's
Disagree.
not really a delay. It's like maybe 1/5 of a second of a delay. It's not really noticeable.
Not only is the delay noticeable, it's not just the delay. There's the dynamic. Hey, stop. For once, there's the dynamics of being able to, like if we talk over each other,
Yeah.
where I could put up the finger, or you could, or
Yeah.
hear your volume go. So
Why
I know
can't
I
you do
get
all
back.
that? You can
Because
do all that.
You can't.
You can.
I've watched a lot. I've never seen
But in
one
the
that felt
deep
natural.
settings, you maybe haven't checked out nowherecomedy.com, because if you go like,
It's not about the delay.
no, it's about the deep settings. We turn on something called original sound. You ever done that on Zoom? We turn original sound on so you can talk over each other and it doesn't cut out the other mics. And we adjust the mic levels and the volume levels. And we have a showroom manager virtually looking at the whole thing, producing it and adjusting things.
Okay.
And so it actually makes up for a lot of those problems. And you admit you're wrong. You'd like to apologize.
No,
You'd like to just say you're wrong. You can say it.
I've been able to do it where we even tried one where we had headphones and did it through our phone, but had the Zoom so we could see each other. There
Yeah.
was no delay.
Right.
It's still you're not in the same space. You
Yeah.
can't see each other.
Right.
That is a delay.
You can see each other. What do you mean?
Okay.
You don't see each other?
Leave
You
some
go
comments.
blind? You go blind when you're looking at Zoom? It's because comics are Luddites. I really believe that. Comics are
what?
just afraid of change and
So,
afraid of
hold
technology.
on. I couldn't hear you. My headphones
Comics
off. Say it
are-
again.
Luddites.
What does that mean?
Afraid of technology.
Oh, yeah, I'm afraid of technology.
Comics are Luddites. They're afraid of change and afraid of technology and afraid of adopting it to some degree. They don't want things that are different. You're
All
doing
right. May I?
Yeah.
What's the name of your Greg Takes a Poop show, improv show?
Well, we're not doing it anymore at the moment, but it's called
Why not?
Greg and Gleib, It's a G Thing.
Was it not doing well?
It was doing great, but
Then why'd you stop?
the world opened back up and he prefers in person because
he's a Luddite.
Because comics are Luddites, where they're afraid.
So you think he's wrong? You
they
think it
wanna
was
go-
better if you're not in the same room?
No, it's not better. I'm admitting to you, it's not.
You think
quite
it's
as
close?
good. I think it's close.
I strongly disagree, and it doesn't mean that I'm right and you're wrong.
You've
or
never
vice
done a
versa.
nowhere show, is all I'm saying.
Correct.
We cracked the code. We figured most Zoom shows are terrible, 100%. We cracked the code is what I believe.
Do you audition often?
Mm-hmm.
Did you like doing it in the room or do you like doing it at home, self-tapes?
Much prefer home self-tape and much prefer Zoom callbacks.
Yeah, so I completely disagree. So we're just different people.
I guess we are, but I don't know why you like it in the room better.
It's more inconvenient to have to go there. But
for sure.
But I'm talking about the actual thing, not the.
No, the
of course,
actual
I would
thing.
rather stay home than go.
Of course.
But for the product itself.
For the product itself, I like it better pre-tape only. And I'm great in the room. So at first I thought I would hate this because I miss being in the room. I go in the room and I get lots of laughs and I get the vibe going great, but I don't always book the thing because then the transition for me from there into the audition is always a little weird. They say own the room and take over and move the chair. I'm gonna move this right here because this is my room. But you don't ever do it.
I thought that was funny.
You don't ever.
When you
liked
put
that
it
when I
there.
pushed this. When I moved it from there to here.
Yeah.
You liked that.
Yeah.
Can we go to clip? They're both brown. I don't know why you say this is the brown. This is even more brown.
Okay.
So, but what's incredible about doing a pre-tape audition is you can do a million takes till it's perfect, till it's the performance you want. And all of a sudden I started booking things and getting callbacks and producer sessions, almost booking things straight up from tapes, much more. Like I almost got a part as Natalie Portman's husband in this Apple TV series. I booked the Disney
Probably
Plus
would've got
show
it
I
if
did.
you were in the room.
No, I don't think so. I don't come that close to usually I'm in the room. I booked a Disney Plus thing from tape.
Awesome. That's
from
great.
tape. And I did my callback in black and white because it was to play a ghost from the 1920s, and you couldn't do that in person.
Oh yeah, I remember I saw you posting about that.
Yeah, you
That's
can't.
awesome.
Thank you. You can't be in black and white in real life. You can be on Zoom.
Well, I disagree.
Well, that's a strong point. How the hell did you do that?
Well, I love technology. We
Can just my
disagree.
dick be black and white?
It's not my. We're doing less dicks on the show because YouTube is getting a lot more.
Can my vagina be black and white?
We're also same type of thing. Just YouTube is really limiting.
Can my Subway sandwich be an old timey sandwich in black and white?
See, that's one that you pitch. It's too much time for the joke.
To play it out?
Yeah.
But you cut to it for a half second? As short as you want. That's my whole point. Saying the sentence takes a whole longer time.
Do you know how the Tom still has to draw it?
Why can't you just take an image of a sandwich and put it on top?
JonMichael, he'll do that.
Okay,
but
great.
then he has to mask out your fingers. It's just work. Everything takes 15 minutes or more. Okay.
Is that better?
Were you licking the tip of it? Because then he has to get rid of.
I'll eat later. See what I did? I saved you some time. Saved John some time. More time for banging your ex-girlfriend, I guess, potentially. I'm sorry if that's offensive that I'm saying that. I hope I'm not bringing up wounds.
I know you're joking, and I don't
joking.
think she'd be offended.
I'm just joking. Okay, good.
It's fine.
Great.
I'm still interested in, because you've been doing this for so long.
Is that Kristen Bell naked up above your head?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. How does she feel about that?
She signed it.
She was cool with that? Dear Rick, you have the best buns in the business. She didn't write that, though.
She did.
You wrote that?
No.
Really? And then she drew an arrow to her own buns.
Mm.
Wow. And she signed it in both blue ink and... Who's the blue ink?
The blue ink, so I bought it on eBay, signed,
Oh.
and I asked her if it was her real signature, and she said no.
That's clearly different. Very
Yeah.
different. She X'd it out. Look at that.
Yeah. These fucking hacks on the internet.
Did she really leave here angry?
Do you want to build a snowman? It doesn't have to be a snowman. Okay, bye.
That was good.
Oh my god! That scared the
What? Who is it?
Wait, whoa, hold on. Why are you coming up through the...
I tried for door. You do not answer.
Oh my god, Ricky.
Oh, for what is this?
This is so dumb.
Hey man, what are you doing?
Wait. Why didn't... You can't come through the balcony though.
Oh, is this Postmates? What are you doing, man?
Or freaked out?
Yeah. But also, she wasn't angry or freaked out. It just kind of messed up the timing of things, and this Postmates guy was sticking around, and it just got a little weird, and...
Were you upset that she left like that?
I understood.
But then her husband has come twice.
You'd
hope more than that.
Well, I know they have 2 daughters.
Yeah, so at least 2.
Yeah.
At least twice.
She came back. She came back and did it. Yeah.
Oh, good. Then it was a full episode.
Yeah.
That's nice.
But yeah, the Postmates driver came up and he was weird, and we edited some stuff out, but it was a little uncomfortable. And
have you ever had him on? As a full guest?
I interviewed him on that episode.
Oh, really?
When she left.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, the whole episode was with the Postmates driver. It's
That's
one of my
nice.
favorite episodes.
Really?
I haven't seen it. Episode 100. It was Kristen Bell. I ordered something from Postmates. I couldn't hear him knocking because I was playing the piano, and that we had construction. And I actually have from my Ring camera footage of it. He goes over and he takes a ladder, and I'm able to see him crossing with the ladder.
How did he get a ladder?
Because we were having construction.
Oh,
and you just see
very dedicated Postmates driver.
He was so worried about his tip, and that's why I realized I offered him $100 if he sat down and had a conversation with me for a little bit.
Wow, did you pay him at the end of that?
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
I paid him before he did it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do I get $100 today?
No. Okay. And also, I during the an episode with Josh Groban at the very end, because I ordered Postmates, but he left it outside, and I have my Ring camera and I showed it. It was the same Postmates driver.
Really?
That I did the episode with.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll show.
You guys good? Oh, Postmates game?
Yeah, so for a while I kept looking out because I wanted to get him to come back on, and I just kept having, like, if I could see him, so I would be looking in the peephole or on my Ring camera if it was him, and I would have, when I order Postmates, I would be ready, asking him to come back in, but
it'll happen.
Maybe.
What do you think? I'm going to ask you my question now. What do you
Lights
think?
off, spotlight.
What do you think, Rick, it'll take for your stand-up to get to that next level where you can just do theaters?
Start
the answer again and don't.
No, I want to answer you sincerely.
I really want the answer.
Then let's have a. Let me try.
Okay, but you were like not answering.
I was finding a way to articulate my truth.
Okay.
I don't know if this is for the first time, but where I have enough confidence and belief in my act and me as a stand-up, where I'm there already. I think that my stand-up is now. I always thought I was funny. I knew I wasn't consistent, and I also didn't think I was necessarily funny enough on stage. Maybe I don't know if that was right or wrong, but I am so funny, and I'm so good at stand-up. And I don't know if this is the first time I've said this on here, because I was talking a bit about I'm scared to start touring and blah blah blah. I'm really good at this now.
Yeah.
And I haven't gone out on the road. I've only done it a little bit years ago during Undateable Days, and I now have a bit.
We did a weekend together.
In San Diego.
Yeah. La Jolla Comedy
Yeah,
Store.
well, but I was featuring for you.
Right.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
But I mean going out to headline my own thing. And I have an audience now thanks to this podcast.
Thanks to the podcast is my point, not from stand-up itself. It's a
You need
better
both.
way to grow.
You need both.
Yeah.
But the difference is you have been doing this for such a long time.
How long have you been doing it? At least 10 years.
Yeah, I started in 2007. I took a few years off during COVID.
It's 15 years.
And it took me longer than
COVID was 18 months. You took off 3 years.
I took off two plus years.
Fully?
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't leave the house for a very long time.
Wow. Virtual comedy would have done you good.
Well, during the COVID days, where people were less willing to be around people,
right?
That's where I really think this podcast hit another level, because I didn't want to do Zoom. I would have people out on my balcony.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I put so much effort into it, and I really think people, especially the video version, noticed it. And there was such a creative outlet where we were doing even more stuff with animation and having drones, watching people climb up my balcony and doing all these fun bits. In the Josh Groban one, he was on the balcony because I'm up a level. He was on the balcony in a tuxedo singing. I have a piano, and I hired an orchestra, a cellist and a violinist in black dress and black tie on the ground floor. I'll put their Instagram handles up here. And I had an orchestra, but it was just great. And I had such a creative outlet, which I think that I don't know if I would have had the time and energy if I was also going and doing stand-up all the time.
I get that.
So though I took off stand-up, I still felt that outlet.
I get that.
But I'm excited. I'm going to start touring. In fact, I'll put it up because I'm not exactly sure. My first one I'm doing, I don't even remember where it is. It's near Tampa in Florida, October 21 and 22, I think.
Side Splitters?
No, it's this new venue. I don't know what it is. I'll put the link in the description.
Do you remember when you told me that you didn't think you'd have to repeat stuff in stand up, and I told you you're going to have to learn to repeat stuff?
I never thought that I don't have to. But what it was me telling you, and it was difficult, and I knew I needed to.
Oh, and I thought you said I don't think I'll ever have to really do it and have to do it the same way at the same time. I think I can just always like mix it up. And
I don't remember having that opinion. I always remember feeling like that was a big obstacle for me, but I knew I was supposed to.
Oh, I thought you said I don't think I'm going to be able to do it, so I'm not going to try to do that. Is what I thought you said.
Maybe I do know that
I remember like 2 years later, you were like, you were right, and I had to learn to do that, and that's what changed it. Is I needed to learn to make it spontaneous while not being spontaneous.
Well, I don't remember that, but maybe.
Cut to the clip from our private life. I told you.
I do know that there were years where I decided to, even though I knew that I'm going to have to do this.
Yeah.
I was deciding to
I'm listening.
Still just do different stuff all the time. And I do think I developed a skill set from that, but it's not enough for stand-up.
Yeah.
It's just
it's a totally different thing. Yeah. I mean, I do a show, and one other benefit of like virtual, I do a show at Nowhere once a month called Gleib Off the Top, crowd work and improvised madness. And I fire like face filters and live animations and augmented reality, everything live in the moment. And I can do shows even with special guests. You should come sometime if you want, because you'd be perfect at it. And you like turn into different characters live in the moment. It's all these graphics you'd never expect, but it's live. It's really, you could never do anything like that in person.
You're right.
Thank you. Won the argument, would you say?
If the argument was you couldn't do that in person, then absolutely.
Yeah,
I would still rather do it live.
It's a different argument
in front of an audience.
It's still an audience there,
in the same place.
Okay.
I am a big believer in energy.
I'm a big Gleiber.
Funny, turn that on its side.
I did.
That's the power. And if you're not in the same room with people, I even find that it's very difficult. Specials, just. You could have typical specials. You could have more like deconstructed or atypical specials, and they're funny, but it's not the same
as being there live.
Being there,
that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. But I think that's often because specials try to make you feel like you're in. Like they try to create the energy of a live theater show at home. But what I think makes it's pretending to be what it's not, but that's different than a stand-up show that's virtual, that's meant to be virtual, and we're trying to make it feel live for what it is, for people who are not in front of you, but they're in front of you in their homes across the planet. And if you cater to that, it's more organic and genuine than a stand-up special is trying to make you feel like you're in a big theater, but you're not actually.
Okay. I don't want to fight you on this because I know it's just opinions. And maybe if I saw it, I would have a stronger appreciation of your take. This just feels bigger to me than comedy. It's just being on the phone with somebody versus being in the room with them. It's just different.
Yes, it's different, but discounting it outright. Like I also do a show Once in a Blue with John Cleese, with the legend, icon of all icons from Monty Python. Cool. It's really cool, called Please Leave Me Alone. And
what does that say? What does that mean? Where do those words come from?
Please leave me alone.
Yeah, I don't get it.
What do you mean you don't get it? I'd like you to.
You mean please leave me alone?
Correct. That's what I said.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. My God. Please leave me alone for a second. I'm trying to tell a story.
Okay.
And his daughter Camilla, also hilarious, joins us. And it's a show that is global but very intimate. And John said during the show, and then called me right afterwards and said the same thing. He goes, this feels like something I've never experienced. You've created a new form of media. It somehow is global, but also more intimate than any show I've done. It created something new. You feel the audience's
You're
energy.
Like the Amazon of comedy.
I don't know if that's accurate.
How it's
more
made
like
the world.
Etsy. I think it's the Etsy.
Okay.
We're more crafted, handcrafted.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah, it's global. Like we're looking into, imagine
how come your special wasn't done over Zoom instead of doing it in a theater?
I was presented an opportunity from a company that wanted to pay for a special, and they were doing it in Philadelphia, and so I said, okay.
And if you could do another one now, and they said you could do it on Zoom or you could do it in a theater, what would you pick?
Mostly, I pick a theater because it's looks bigger, it seems bigger, the energy. Like I said, it's not quite as good. It feels bigger for something as momentous as a special.
Mm-hmm.
It feels better to have it be big because also perception's very important, and I need to compete with guys that are doing it in huge venues.
And girls.
By guys, I meant the girl version of guys.
Right.
You know? and
Ali Wong,
Ali Wong, and Nikki
I heard
Glaser
Nikki
are
Glaser
females.
loves your special.
She does. Yeah.
Yeah. You sent me a text.
Yeah.
And today on your way over here.
I did, yeah.
Maybe you would have been on time if you didn't send it.
I was doing that while driving, don't worry.
Be careful. And
I have a self-driving button.
This is what Nikki said about my special.
Mm-hmm.
You said, if you have the time to memorize this and repeat it verbatim, that would be awesome. Now, is it audio?
Yeah, it's
because instead of me repeating it, I could just play it.
Sure. It's better from your own mouth. But
Nikki, a fan favorite of the Take Your Shoes Off podcast. Oh, let's see here. This is 40 seconds. I don't know if we'll want to keep the whole thing in. What do you guys
The Mad
think?
King that you can check out on YouTube. And I was blown away, man. It truly inspired me. This was Burr levels good, like Bill Burr levels good, without question. Carlin-esque, all these guys, like it's up there with that. Ben Gleib changed the way I think about certain things. I encourage everyone to check out everything Ben has going on because he's just one of the funniest. But this stand-up special is like top notch. It made me, and that's the mark of something great, it made me want to really like buckle down and focus on my writing. And it was just so tight. Ben's operating on a level where I'm like, I aspire to write some jokes like this. You are going to love this. The Mad King now streaming on
Check
YouTube.
it out, Ben,
Go check it
please.
out.
So there's so great endorsement. There are so many cuts on that.
Yeah.
That it feels like if we were to show the full uncut version, Ben
She's
Gleib is
negating all
not
the-
very good at writing jokes. It's like it makes me want to never do what you know what I mean.
That's not what happened.
Of course not.
Can you try your best at
No.
verbatim? Just try and verbatim say all that.
I wasn't watching it for retention. I was watching it and listening. So I would have to listen to it again. Maybe do that.
I get it.
That's a great endorsement. You and Nikki seem like you're pretty good friends.
Yeah, she's a dear friend of mine.
It's nice of her to.
One of my closer friends.
Yeah, I did a show with her.
She had me on her
earlier this
podcast
week.
two days in a row to promote the special.
Very nice.
You're having me on just once, just for the record.
Yes.
But yours is only once a week.
Correct.
And hers is 4 times a week. So
is it really?
You're actually having me on more than
Twice-
she did. I'm going
twice
to tell
as
her that
much.
she should have me on more because it's only 4 times as much, and you're having me on. So she's having me on half as much as you are.
I did Adam
I'm pretty
Ray and
angry at her,
Friends
and
show.
we're very close. Her and I are closer than
I'll
you
tell
are.
you after.
I'm going to text her and say this is not okay, and that she should probably. I mean, not that it's not okay, but it'd be nice if she had me on more.
Well, just while he's doing his thing, I'll tell you guys. I did Adam Ray and Friends show earlier in the week at the Comedy Store, and it was a great lineup. JonMichael, Adam
Nikki,
Ray,
couple
Craig
things.
Robinson,
Adam
Eddie
Ray
Yift,
is one
Rick
of my
Glassman,
close friends,
Nikki Glaser,
and he's never had me on the Adam Ray and Friends
I
show.
watched Nikki. I hadn't seen her live in a very long time, and
But
she
also
was so funny.
Rick Glassman only does his show once a week and just had me on. You had me on 2 out of 4 in a week. So technically, even though it sounds like you had me on more, he's had me on twice as much as you. And I aren't as close as you and I are these days. Just no pressure. But if you want to consider having me on 1 or 2 more days next week, that might equal it out.
Do you think maybe you're being aggressive and you should Gleib her alone?
Cut to something,
Yeah, we can cut back.
Yeah. I have a sketch, by the way, like a little 1-minute sketch of the script I wrote where it's John Cleese and Camilla and I saying, please leave me alone. And please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. We're like, that's what I said. That's not what you said. So if you want, you can have that clip and you can cut that in. If you
Are
want.
you happy with stand-up?
Am I happy with stand-up?
Yeah, because you're taking time off now.
I'm not taking time off. I'm just taking time off from touring, like physically
So
in
you're
person
doing
on the
less
road.
headlining sets.
Yeah, correct. I'm doing LA stand-up.
20 minutes.
15, 20 minutes. And I'm doing virtual stand-up. But I'm not on the road. And do I miss going on the road? Not that much, weirdly. I don't really miss going on
If
the road.
you were
that
single,
much.
would you enjoy it more?
Yeah, I would.
Is it because you want to spend... What's your fiance's name?
Carmel.
Is it because you want to spend more time with Carmel, or is it more that there's like there's an like you have a person at home, so like you have a reason to not go on the road?
Totally, all of that. I mean, she's become very addictive to hang out with. My patterns have changed. The pandemic's made me not really like shaking a bunch of hands as much as I used to and being as social as I used to. And there's less incentive to do it because I'm not out there to get drunk or to find somebody, that I find attractive mutually does so to have sexuals to maybe kiss and hold closely.
Did you hook up with people all the time on the road?
No. I'm just saying, like, there's less incentives when you have a fiance and you have a life at home, and my dog's at home, Henry Horse, God bless. And
did he sneeze?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Cut to the footage.
No.
Okay. You're allowed to veto. It's your show.
Well, after the 90-minute mark, it's like we
are we past 90 minutes already?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we're at 91 minutes.
Oh wow. Do you edit a lot of this out or not really?
This one I will.
Do we need more serious stuff? We've had some serious stuff in the last 45, but it didn't start with a lot of serious stuff. Is that going to be a problem for you? Are you going to lose all your listeners in the beginning?
Mm-hmm.
Something you want to put in the beginning from later on?
Maybe we'll do a cold open. Maybe we'll do a cold open here.
Great.
Here, this will be the cold open. Let's just get serious, but give
Don't
me...
you put my
give me
legs
5
down?
Yeah, please. Just for continuity.
Yep.
Is this something that you had been going through for years, or had you just found out?
The day I found out, it changed everything, and I knew my life would take a different course.
I mean, we could edit any of this out, but is this something that you want to be talking about? I mean, this has got to be so hard.
It is hard for me to discuss it, but I feel like sometimes you have to put yourself out for other people to benefit from it, even though it's hard. It really is hard, Rick. Maybe we shouldn't talk about it.
By benefit, are you doing a pun on your name?
Yeah. I mean, my fans have been known as the Friends with Benefits for a long time, and I put Ben in caps.
I know what this is. 91 minutes earlier. And then that could be the cold open. And people are like, what the fuck happens in an hour and a half?
Yeah.
And then someone says, an hour and a half plus 1 minute.
Yes. And then maybe you could say that same first thing that you said right here, where you're like, is that something you want to talk about or whatever? And maybe we can make it something very, very benign after and actually answer it at the very end. You know what I mean?
Well, no, by that point, people will realize that this was just a play for the cold open. They already know.
Oh, okay.
By the time people would have heard the benign thing, they heard us saying, let's come up with a fake cold open. Clickbait.
Oh, that's in there too?
The cold open will be us getting emotional.
Right.
I think also maybe get rid of the pun part because, and then you could have the cuts to black and then you hear it go, 91 minutes earlier. And then I turn the lights on and I walk out to get you. You come in. We talk about putting the coat over the belly and stuff like that.
And then it ends
Hebrew
with us
letters.
transitioning into that sketch.
Right, which I think is totally brave. It's very brave of us to do that.
It is, to reveal that sometimes you click people into a bait. You clickbait them.
Yeah, well, I'm a masturbator, and that ties into what I'm talking about.
That's why it takes you so long to dry your hair in the shower.
Yes, but I was more referencing how brave it is for us to just to transition, because it's like it's really deconstructing the format.
No, 100%. That's what I was referring to.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible to do that because a lot of people would never do that. I didn't even think you were doing it, and I was part of it, and I didn't even think we were doing that. Now we are. And
well, you're not a director.
Well, I realize
So you're stand-up, writer, host, man on the street, director, commentator, dancer. I'm just kidding. Or you said you were kidding. What else is there?
Producer, rapper, businessman, I guess. Running this business is
make sure that you saw when he said rapper, I put the finger back down.
I've heard one of the best kazoo players in the world because you can watch my kazoo life highlights on my Instagram whenever you'd like. I've kazooed with some of the best people in the world, real musicians. I'm very good at it. There's not a lot of competition, but I'm one of the best.
How's the AC in here? You feel good?
AC is fucking great.
How do you feel about? Do you consider yourself a clown?
No, not until right now.
I sometimes think of myself as a clown.
You do? I don't like clown. I was always the class comedian, not the class clown.
You were always, or people called you the class clown, and you were like, "No, I'm a class comedian."
No, I got
the
voted.
Way you said short film.
I got voted class comedian.
Oh, so that's not because of who you are. That's just the superlative of the school.
No, they had both.
You can't win best comedian at the Emmys because that's not a category,
right? But my school had class clown and class comedian.
Oh wow!
And I was chosen class comedian.
Wow, that's like best looking and then most interesting looking. The most interesting looking would be like the class clown, and the best looking would be class comedian.
And I was best looking. That's why a lot of people say I look like Brad Pitt.
Oh yeah.
You could make the
we didn't have best comedian.
Does this look? Do you not see it?
No, you don't. Even not only is he better looking than you, there isn't even like you look like an uglier Brad Pitt. You don't even look like an uglier Brad Pitt. Maybe that's the cold open.
The most hurtful thing I've ever heard in my life.
Wow, people have been very nice to you.
They have. Generally, people are pretty fucking nice to me. By the way, I've got something for you.
Careful with not smelling the coffee.
Oh yeah, I got something for you because I feel like today's gone really well.
So this is going to be a promotional item of yours.
Maybe not. By the way, is it okay if I record this? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Send it to me in case we lose this.
I got it. I got that all on tape.
Do you really have something for me?
I do, yeah.
Is it a CD or a sticker or
no?
An action figure?
No.
A picture? Kind of.
You got your choice, actually. No, you don't get your choice.
Pencil?
No.
Pencil holder?
Do you want
a cozy?
No. Do you want to be bowling them down with laughter? Do you want to be kind of anointed as the man in charge?
So it's either a mini bowling ball or a Neosporin.
Nope. Or
did that joke make sense?
Or do you want to be the head cheese?
Bowling them down with laughter. Oh, how do I pin this on? Will you tell people who are audio only so they get the pun?
Rick Glassman just caught a miniature bowling pin. Looks a lot like a real bowling pin. It's really down to size, scaled perfectly. And so grabbing a bowling pin, he put it towards his shirt and said, "How do I pin this on?"
I don't want this.
You don't?
No. And
Why?
I wouldn't use it. So for that reason, I'm going to give it back.
I would like it back. I got the real thing for you anyway. I'd consider
Throw
you
a bowling ball at me. You consider me what?
The
chief?
sheriff of comedy.
Oh, I thought it was metal, so I had to
you got
slow
scared.
it down.
You got a little scared.
Instead of catching it like this, kind of like hydraulic.
It adds time. That's how you slow down time.
How do I pin this on?
I like that a lot. Rick took something that's not at all pin pun related, and he's now trying.
But usually this would have a pin.
Normally it would have a pin. This does have a thing you can attach it to.
Yeah. I don't want this either.
Why you don't want the sheriff badge?
No. Why do you have that? What is that for?
What do you mean?
It's like your portable doctor's office, and you have scratch and sniff Snickers and stickers.
Snickers? I sometimes you don't want to scratch.
Edit that out.
Yeah,
bleep it at least.
My God, you don't want to be appointed sheriff by one of your long-term friends, the sheriff of comedy.
Appointed, because you said anointed. I would have guessed it was that if you said appointed.
Really? Because of the 5 points?
Mm-hmm. 6.
Yep. Oh, that's a good job.
Yeah, it's a Jewish star.
You don't want to be deputy sheriff?
I would love to, but I'd have to earn that, and you can't give that to me. That's something I have to work on my own.
I appoint this. I would like you to have this. Take it.
Yeah, this is like a microcosm of the bits that we're trying to do. No. We're going to do it. I was like, I don't know if I don't really like Zoom. And
take it.
Okay.
You're really good at catching them. For real good catching them. For real good catching them.
The look on your face when you caught it is like my Uncle Bob, who does catch things all the time. But when he does, he goes, but like acting like he's been there, but only in his body, not his face.
I was surprised I caught it. That's why. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I'm an athlete.
I thought you were going to say you're an actor.
Yeah. Well.
What's that City of LA trophy?
4 out of 5 years we won. I only kept one of the trophies. The Comedians Basketball League.
Remember when we were on the same team together?
Were you on the Rick Glassmans?
Yeah. Yeah, I was. And
I do remember. That was the same year, I think.
And the No Names too. We were also the No Names one year. 2 years.
That wasn't.
Okay. I was on the Rick Glassmans one year.
I do remember that. Yeah.
I wasn't great.
Well, you are great at commentary.
I scored some points.
I do want. Yeah, you scored some points with me, and that's why we had you on the pod.
That's
I really don't want that.
Why?
I just don't. It's just
now it just hit your floor. You have to keep it.
No, it kept it on the brown.
Oh wow. I was not great at basketball, but I contributed a little bit.
Well, yeah, you made us. You're a pleasure to be around.
Thanks. remember when Dane Cook came and played and he kind of shot like a girl?
I don't.
Oh, you don't remember that?
He played in the comedy league?
He came one time, filled in for somebody.
That's actually half the amount that Dak Shepard came.
But then her husband has come twice.
Remember?
I do remember that, yeah. I mean, you'd have to assume at least twice, unless he saved half the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And then just...
Well, but they're long enough apart to where I know that...
People have freezers?
No, they didn't at the time.
They didn't have a freezer?
This was before the Spotify deal.
Oh, I get that.
Yeah.
Listen, you can't do it all at once. You can't have it all at once.
Well, it seems like you can. Commentator.
Yep.
Stand-up comedian.
Yep. Well, what are your things? What are your categories?
Being present, deconstruction.
Mm-hmm.
I'm quick. I'm emotionally intelligent, and I'm able to see many perspectives and kind of puzzle them together to offer new context.
And is there any actual skills or like roles in there or like things you do? Those are all, I feel like, describing parts of one skill. Like those make a great friend and podcaster.
Yeah.
Is that one of the only things you are, friend and podcaster?
I'm funny.
Yeah, you're funny.
I'm a funny friend.
You consider yourself one of the quickest minds in the game?
The game.
Do you consider yourself one of the quickest minds in the game?
You know, this is going to be a corny answer, but I'm being sincere when I say this. That hasn't been something I've thought about because I really do not compare myself to other people. Not for any reason other than it takes away from me being able to compare myself to the best version of myself.
Wow. That was very Matthew McConaughey of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Or should I say, thank you very much.
That's Elvis.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Totally different people.
Yeah.
Wasn't he good in that?
They both rock, though.
True.
And they both like to frost themselves.
That's also true. Elvis was wonderful in Sunday Night in Cedar Rapids.
I really liked in Peggy Sue Got Married. I really like
When She Got
Conrad,
Married.
who was based off of Elvis.
Didn't you love When She Got Married in that movie?
You know, that was one of Jim Carrey's first movies.
Was it?
Yeah, he was in that.
That he ever saw? Oh, he was in it.
Amir has a joke that I thought of.
Amir K?
Yeah. That's fine. Amir has a joke.
I don't want to offend you.
Amir, okay. He has a joke that I thought of when we were talking about our hair being long.
Yeah.
That is a similar punchline to it. So now I'm going to do it where he goes, I'm growing out my hair for this movie. I'm watching Godfather 3. Something like that. Let's get him on the horn, see if he can do it.
Wait, what?
It's
I don't know if I understand that at all.
Where he's pretending like he's growing his hair out for a movie, but not to be in it, just to watch one. He was on the pod.
Oh, I see now. I see.
We'll put up a thumbnail where it was a bit of a combative episode.
Really?
Yeah. In a nice way.
Kind of like you and Bobby Lee Part 2.
That's just, he just, those are two people that are in the same room, but it might as well be Zoom.
Yeah.
You know, we're not really always there with each other. Although he's just an anomaly. I mean, people.
He is an anomaly?
People fucking obviously love him.
Yeah.
So that already, Bobby Lee being on a podcast already will get great feedback and numbers.
Right.
But
even though he didn't bring it.
No, it's just our dynamic. Not that it's better or worse than anybody else's, is really a very specific, wild dynamic. And people really like our episodes. But it's interesting because, like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Mm-hmm.
But it's always I'm always very engaged, and it's always very. He's just he's not to say that's his best thing, but man, does he podcast well?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Even without connecting.
Well, he just keeps it as real as possible.
I don't know about that.
That's what I think. I think he keeps it very real.
I think he weaves in and out of it. People don't know when it is and when it isn't.
Oh, I see. Interesting. So he convinced me. AT&T.
I liked my episode with Amir, but
Ron Gladys?
Hey, Amir, tell me that hair joke. How does that go?
Well, pal Ron.
Tell me how that hair joke goes. I got you on the pod with Ben Gleib, and I was telling him that you were growing your hair out for a movie. What's going on?
Amir, tell us.
Oh, I'm not in the movie. I'm just watching Godfather 3 next week. I want to make sure I have long hair.
Yeah.
Tell it in the right order. Can you tell it in the right order so the joke works real quick?
Did it bomb?
Tell it again. Start over.
Bomb in the room?
Hey, Amir, this is Rick Glassman. We're on the podcast right now with Ben Gleib. Do you mind telling us that joke in the right order, or the Godfather joke?
Well,
I can barely hear you. I'm in Catalina Island, dude. My reception's
just do the goddamn Godfather joke one more time. Just one more time.
I can hear you.
Can you do the joke?
He wants you to do the whole joke from setup to punchline.
Yeah.
There's no setup to it. I'm growing my hair out.
All right.
Why?
That's Amir K. Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
Enjoy Catalina, my friend.
He's our fourth caller.
We'll put his Instagram handle up here.
We've got our fourth caller. Just won a free trip to Catalina Island.
Amir, what's the name of your podcast?
Tomorrow.
What's the name of your podcast? Here's your big opportunity to get in front of a lot of people. What's the name of your podcast?
Salty Locks. Yeah, come tune into Salty Locks, guys.
Somehow he heard that perfectly from Catalina Island.
Worst commercial for his podcast. All right, I love you. Bye.
I love you guys. Bye.
Salty Locks. We'll put up a thing here.
All phone guests of the Rick Glassman podcast. All phone guests of Take Your Shoes Off get a free trip to Catalina Island. They are currently on. Let me say that a little cleaner. All All phone guests of the Take Your
This is
Shoes
who
Off.
you are in real life. That's
All
so funny.
phone guests of the Take Your Shoes Off podcast get their free trip to get I fucking up
This
again.
is why you don't like being in the room. Because you can edit all that stuff out.
All phone guests of the Take Your Shoes Off
Lost
podcast
his
get
mind.
a free. God damn it! I will get this right. All phone. Now I've said a little crispy at the beginning. All phone guests of the Rick. All phone guests. Fuck. Stop laughing. All phone guests of the Take Your Shoes Off podcast get a free trip to Catalina Island they are currently on.
That's good. That reminded me of in Private Parts when he's doing WNBC.
WNBC.
Cut to a clip.
WNBC. You hear that kind of lift? The NBC. WNBC. WNBC.
WNBC. WNBC. Pig vomit.
Yeah. Paul Giamatti.
You're damn right. Paul Giamatti is the same character in every movie. Everything he does.
You know, I just
Angry, roly-poly. I'm not drinking a Merlot.
not bad.
Thank you. I'm not drinking a Merlot.
Last week, I believe it was last week, I had I talked about Paul Giamatti movie that I love so much that a lot of people don't know.
Which
called
one?
Win-Win.
What's that?
It's a movie with Bobby Cannavale and Paul Giamatti.
Bobby Cannavale looks to me like a man who wouldn't be a good actor, and every time he acts, I'm like, that was believable, but I don't feel like he would be good.
He's
Doesn't he look like a bad actor?
no,
His
he's one of my
face.
favorite actors.
But doesn't he look like a person that's like trying to be like wants to be an actor and he can't act?
I'm not
You
seeing
can't relate
that.
to that, okay.
I'm not seeing that. But when I first discovered him, at least consciously, it was in Win-Win, where I'm like, this guy is fucking unbelievable. So
Wow.
I don't think I've ever been able to see that.
You'll never get there.
He's so funny without being, but like
He's so funny.
I did 4 of them, which is kind of like so funny. Is like take your shoes
funny.
off. Where so funny would be like Nikki Glazer's podcast, because you were on twice as much.
That's true.
Man, it's a great movie.
Really, Win-Win.
Win-Win.
Never heard of it. No one ever else liked it.
People really like
What's
it.
your barometer? What's your favorite movie of all time?
I can't tell you a favorite movie of all
Top
time.
5. Give me your top 5.
I'll tell you some top movies in no particular order.
Great.
Shawshank Redemption.
Okay.
Step Brothers.
Yep.
Superbad.
Yep.
Wedding Crashers.
Yep.
I love Warrior.
What's Warrior?
With Tom Hardy and I forgot the guy's name, and the other guy I forgot his name.
I don't think you love it that much.
Only
Only one drama on that list. Warrior, assuming it's a drama.
What's Shawshank Redemption?
Oh yeah, 2 dramas on that list.
What's Wedding Crashers?
It's a comedy.
I guess that's subjective.
True that.
What about you? What are some of your favorite movies?
I can tell you my top 5, not exactly in order,
Right.
but sort of in order.
Okay.
Number 1, Meet Joe Black.
Great movie.
Thank you.
Great movie.
Most people hate it.
You kind of look like the guy. What's his name? He was the cannibal.
Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah.
Have the lamb stop, Clarice.
Put up a poster of Meet Joe Black.
Have the lamb stop, Clarice.
Meet Joe Black.
Oh yeah. You're doing a little butterfly act out in front of my face.
I thought I had to sneeze.
Oh, okay. Is that the way you activate it or stop it? Stop. Okay. Oh, that one kind of nubbed your fingers a little tight there.
Yeah. Why was it? Could you let the audience know for audio only that
I
that
threw
it was
again.
very short?
I threw again the badge towards Rick, and it was a short throw, and it kind of nubbed the beginning of his fingers, and he's trying to blame it on me.
No blame.
Oh, okay. Meet Joe Black, When Harry Met Sally.
Great movie.
Pulp Fiction. You don't like Pulp Fiction?
I do like Pulp Fiction.
Incredible.
And I know people love it.
Incredible.
I just haven't connected to it enough.
And
You said and too soon.
Being John Malkovich. And Jerry Maguire. It's a pretty good one.
Only one drama.
And yeah. No. Being John Malkovich is, it's a comedy more so, I suppose that's true. And then Midnight Run. Yeah, it's mostly comedies too, I guess. Those are good. You know Midnight Run?
Yeah.
You don't like it?
I don't know if I've seen it.
Robert De Niro and Charles Grodin.
I know the movie. I just don't. I either don't remember it or.
Is it in your top?
Well, again, you put that at number 6, by the way.
Yeah, my top 5 has 6 in it. I can never get it down to 5. Can I peel this one little piece off? The one little nub. One little nub.
Where do you put the 6th lead?
It feels very awkward to me that it's here. It won't hurt the thing.
Where do you put the 6th lead?
I'm gonna leave it. I'd put it in your.
Have you seen the 6th lead?
No, I've seen it, not really. I saw maybe like one episode of it a long time ago.
If you go to rickglassman.com, on the top at the banner, there's a link to the 6th lead, or you could just find it on YouTube. But it's a series I made.
No, I know you did it behind the scenes while you were on Undateable.
Oh yeah,
it was behind the scenes about you being the 6th lead on Undateable. I know all about it.
Which is like your midnight run.
Correct. That's exactly right. With two of the great actors, Rick Glassman and whoever else was in the
I guess
6th
I'll
lead.
put Sister Act in the top 20.
Really? I don't really remember it. People love it. People love Sister Act. I don't really remember it.
Sister
My
Act 2,
fiance
maybe I
quotes
like
it
even
all
better.
the time with other friends. Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you like her on The View even better?
No. Not that I dislike her on The View. I don't watch The View that much.
I wish she did. It could
You know what I like?
rank her higher.
The Real.
With Lonnie Love.
In fact, I like it so much that I have their merch.
Whoa, look at that. That's a pashmina that says The Real on it.
Nice.
Thank you. Cut to when I said pashmina, explain what that is.
And then cut to a clip of me on The Real.
And then cut to definition of pashmina, which probably I'm wrong about.
And then cut back to him putting the tray on the couch.
Yep.
Ben, thanks for coming over, bud.
Thank you so much for having me.
What do you want to plug again and or that you haven't yet?
I would love everybody to check out my special.
Tell them.
I would love everybody to check out my special, The Mad King. It's on YouTube so that it can be shared wide. So just search Ben Gleib Special or The Mad King. Or
And how much
both.
of it was written by Tolkien before you actually filmed it?
Not Tolkien, that's not even...
Yeah, he did the thing where he lives in the woods, right?
That's the new Lord of the Rings series.
25 million people watched.
I haven't watched it yet, but my fiance has a Lord of the Rings sleeve tattoo all over her top half of her arm.
Oh, right, from Sister Act.
Correct. It's one of her favorites, why she joined the convent originally.
Yeah, you know, Lauryn Hill actually got the name Hill because they filmed in New Zealand with all the mountains.
I did know that, plus her breasts. Keep that in mind, if you can. And so, please watch The Mad King, and you can watch my game show, Idiot Test, if you want. I don't really make money on it. I haven't done new ones in a long time, so you can maybe stumble upon Rick Glassman one day, but you might not on Game Show Network or Game Show Central.
It's a good game show.
Thank you. It's a lot of fun. I helped write every test on that, so there was that. Oh, wow. Right into the shirt. Nicely done. This helped a lot. Your little jazz finger, so I was listening
Well, you're
audio
supposed to look
only.
up at the light, and this reminds you.
That's right. And then 5 days a week, I'm releasing stand-up clips and other videos, comedy videos on my Instagram and TikTok at Ben Gleib, so just check that out. And my podcast Last Week on Earth.
You're doing it again.
Doing it again, sporadically yet again, so you don't have to invest too much time.
From Clueless, when she goes, I hope not too sporadically.
Sporadically.
She learned the word.
She learned how to use that word, as did I from you watching Clueless.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah.
Did you also learn that to save yourself for Luke Perry and also wanting to be with a guy as long as his you know what isn't crooked?
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm going to hold out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to hold out to that day.
You know, the connection of rolling with the homies and in Sister Act 2, and they go,
Rick is now currently waving one arm like a seal or some kind of a sea
put up
lion.
the clip. When Jesus
kind of a sea lion and clapping, and then the other side he's doing other that. And I'm gonna avoid singing the same time as you this time, so that you don't criticize it later. And just announcing that to everybody. And
Scoot do.
Scoot doo. Blabbity blue.